Hello everyone, and welcome to this D&D campaign, being run by yours truly, Asmogon, and I have 6 of my wondrous players here, who you will soon get to know. But before we get underway, a couple of quick announcements about this campaign and this journey you are about to embark on along with all of us. First and foremost, I would like everyone to be aware that the lovely artwork done by done for all of my characters here, it was done by one of my players by the name of Pyrrhus Links. He's a very talented and very skilled artist, so if you're looking for someone to hire, he is a freelancer that is available. Look up Jacob Jones Illustrations. I will even provide links in the description of this video. Please go check him out if you're looking for a really talented artist who I assure you is worth every penny. Art points aside, this is also a little bit of a warning for those out there with sensibilities. This is a dark fantasy campaign, homebrewed by yours truly. With that, we are going to be touching on some serious topics, though my players will no doubt be able to make a lot of fun and jokes and humor out of a lot of great situations, but we are going to be hitting on some dark topics. So, please be mindful of that as you watch, or if you have your kids in the room, be mindful of the language as well as the scenarios that might be on display. Please be mindful. All that being said, please enjoy this intro to the Shadows of Valakia. Alright, and we're back. Real quick, I'd like my players to introduce themselves just as themselves as players. If you guys want to say anything about yourselves, it's up to you how much you want to say, but just as players, let's go with Pyrrhus first and foremost, since I gave you a big shout out. Anything you want to say in regards to the commission stuff or artwork at all? Any kind of underpinning?
Well, you basically covered it all. You gave the link to my stuff. I guess additional places you can find me. I have an art station as well. I think it should be under the same name as Jacob Jones Illustration, which is on Instagram. Deviant Art as well. That I have a one there, which is I believe the username there is Pyrrhic Doodles or something like that. Oh, that's basically it.
Okay. Litany?
Yes, I am Digital Litany, short Litany. I am a regular on Asmo servers. I would like to consider many of the people here my friends. I am an aspiring author, doing some work with fictional pieces here on YouTube, and I am very excited to be part of this journey. Asmo can decide whether or not it is deserving to put any links whatsoever.
Oh, I guess to kind of press you to advertise yourself a little bit, what's the name of the stories or the story series that you're working on YouTube?
Yes. I work on the audio drama Aquifer, a fantastical little adventure with magical fishes. And I am working on a audio drama named Digipunk Simulated Love, a futuristic cyberpunk-inspired setting with a lot of AI stuff.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your introduction, Litany. Tang?
Hi, I am Tangular, or Tang for short, and I'm the local madman and mad scientist, so I don't have any creative links to share, but generally I'm here for any interesting facts or scientific knowledge.
Awesome. Jaber?
I'm J-Bear, and I've basically got nothing going on.
Fair enough. Ludus?
I am Ludus. I am a very small YouTuber. I do my channel Ludus Infinium Gaming, and I am here by the grace of my bestest and closest friend, the almighty Asmogon, who is the bestest of boys.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, and Dragonus?
I'm Dragonus. I'm just a longtime friend of Asmogan. I haven't really any creative art skills or anything, so I'm just a normal hobbyist playing pen and paper games and tabletop games and role-playing games for a good 10 years now, and I'm just really hyped for the campaign.
Awesome.
And seeing where we're going.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for indulging me with those introductions. I guess one last housekeeping thing to kind of bring up real quick for the audience. We are not Critical Role. We are also not Legends of Evantris. Outside of me and Ludus, a lot of the guys in here aren't normally used to doing broadcasts or being entertainment personalities. Very much what you guys are entering into is more of a standard nerd D&D campaign. That being said, we're dorks. We like to have fun. We joke around. And, there will be lots of funny, entertaining moments for sure. But keep that in mind. Outside of me and Ludus, not everyone here is a entertainer by trade. So, just keep that in mind. And with that being said, let me do the introduction of the Shadows of Valakia.
Yes, get over there!
Within the world of Eden, there lies Valakia, an ancient westbound kingdom that spans as far as the eye can see. If you can survive the unforgiving weather and savage wilds, you will bear witness to the hardy people who dwell within its borders. From ignoble crime syndicates to virtuous paladin orders, there is no shortage of factions one can encounter in Valakia. The kingdom consists of many fiefdoms controlled and governed by numerous noble families, and the houses, all of whom swear fealty to the king of Valakia, Eric Vulpin III. However, oaths and honor carry varying quantities of weight depending on the one who swears them. One would never guess it given the current state of affairs, but Valakia was once a bustling hub of trade and a paragon of law and order. The prior king Eric Vulpin II went from oppressed peasant to revolutionary, to king in his first 20 years of life. He then spent over 50 more rebuilding a once fractured and desolate kingdom into a guiding star of humanity. However, after a sudden and rapid fever took him in the night 10 years ago, his son would ascend to the throne and undo all that his father had toiled away to establish. Where there was once frequent trade, there is now sparing merchants and an abundance of slave galleys. Where there was once dutiful guards and officers of the court enforcing order, there is now thugs in unmaintained armor drunkenly shambling the streets or in alleyways, fucking drugged up and disease-ridden whores. All while cries of the innocent go ignored. And where there was once respectable heroes and upstanding knights of virtue, there can be found only you lot, soaking up the intoxicated revelry at a shabby old tavern in Bree Hollow, a grim-looking small town near the southern border of Valakia. Alright, so that's going to lead us to character introductions. Now, some of you are natives to Valakia, and some of you are foreign. So we're going to split this up into those two groups. For introduction, I should say. So, just remind me, who here is native to Valakian, and who here is arriving at the border for the first time?
I'm
or
native.
a mix of the two. Okay.
I'm also native.
Native.
I am not native.
Okay.
I am also foreign, just arriving.
Foreign.
Alright, so we're split 3 and 3. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a dice real quick and determine which group we're going to go with first. Okay. So, we're going to go with the native-born Valakians for introduction first. And since there's 3 of you, I will roll again to decide who's first. Okay. Tang. Or I should say Vlad. You have arrived at Bree Hollow. You march into the town from the northern city gates, and you march through the trudged, dirty streets. It's rather late in the evening, almost dusk, and the place is certainly quiet off the bat, although you're used to that. Most of Valakia is quite similar, although Bree Hollow is certainly a smaller scale version of what you're constantly used to in other places, certainly the larger cities. You don't really see a lot of people heading to places of revelry at this hour. It seems like a lot of people are retreating to their homes in quick succession. You do notice a lot more foreigners than usual, although that makes sense given the fact that this is a border town. As you kind of walk through the town, you come across one of the only places that look like it's still open at this hour, and is still active. It seems to be a inn and a tavern kind of put together. And it says right out the front, Bescu's. Tang, you see Bescu's and you decide you could wet your whistle, or you could, certainly go for a relaxing evening. So, you enter into Bescu's. It's a fairly middlingly active tavern. It certainly looks like it's seen better days at one point, but the patrons seem to be sticking to themselves. There's these little groups kind of split up across, not a lot of intermingling outside of clearly familiar bedfellows. And you do take note of the bartender. The bartender seems to be a strapping, not young lad, probably early 30s, late 20s at most. Sorry, at least. And you notice he's big and muscular, very, very broad, about 6'2", and he's got a sharp, kind of pointed black beard. It's very neatly cut. Additionally, in terms of his hair, he's got a good, strong head of hair up top, although it's shaved around the sides. He seems like a very serious guy, and he's definitely seen his fair share of scraps. Right, would you like to introduce your character and describe them as you enter the tavern?
Right, well, name's Vlad, or Vladislaus, and I am a fighter, monster hunter from the White Mountains. I usually do just mercenary work, traveling from place to place, trying to find some monsters to hunt or tasks to do. Generally to get enough money for a room and some booze. And I prefer to remain solitary most of the time. I don't work too much with people, as I have not sticking around too much in any single place. Usually I prefer quiet places and strong drinks. So, in that case, I am going to approach the bartender and I'm going to try and get his attention.
Alright. You walk up to the bartender, and he's in the middle of cleaning a mug. He seems really preoccupied in his mind at that very moment, but once you step up, he immediately seems to click into business mode. He realizes a customer, has come up, and he takes a second, looks over at you, and so you can tell immediately that he's sizing you up. He's analyzing you very intently. He takes note of your armor, he takes note of your, not necessarily disheveled, but your seasoned appearance. Welcome. I would be the proprietor. My name is Andre. Is there anything I can get you to drink?
Yes, just a mug of ale would be nice. And anything you could find for eating.
Very well. And he turns around, he seems to, peruse through a couple of bottles real quick, but settles on, a fairly dusty, shabby one in the corner and cocks it open. Empties it, not empties it, sorry. Pours out a decent chunk of it, it's very foamy, and puts the mug right in front of you. As for food, I'm afraid I can't offer too much except for jerky at the moment.
Food's food, so get me whatever you can.
Very well. He reaches into this large barrel behind the counter. Again, equally shabby, and it's just filled to the brim with jerky meat that's, you can tell, has been freshly dried, so it's not poor quality. And he just serves up a little bit of it in the large cloth and puts it in front of you. All in all, that will be 3 silver.
Right. I slide 3 silver to him.
Right. He takes it and pockets it. It's at this point that let's go with I'll roll. Make it fair. Alright, it's at this point that Adagio, you would walk in. Would you like to describe your character, please?
Yes. The first impression one gets from looking at Adagio is showboating. As she walks into the tavern, her armor is resplendently gleaming of silver, whites, and golds. A helmet of extravagant flair attached to a small hook on her hip, and a trident of similar coloration. Scarred in spots and places, particularly around the stomach, which is completely bared. There's no armor to be shown there. There's not even clothing to show around the stomach. And as she comes in, one also gets the air of very much a mightier than thou attitude to her. She has amber eyes that do not quite reach a smile, no matter how much she tries to pass off one. And she carries herself with the stride of a warrior who has seen maybe one too many battles, which is astounding a case for someone so young an age. And she is just going to take a seat where there is one available, and she will just await for someone to approach to get an order. If not, she's just gonna sit there.
Oh, so
She has no patience.
All right. So to clarify, are you going to go to the bar, or are you going to find a empty table?
I'm going into the tavern and get dancing at an empty table.
All right.
If there is one.
There is one. It's middle of the room. It seems like most of the patrons of this establishment, especially at this hour, seem to be sequestering, I should say, around the general pub area. All of them seem to be hugging the walls, or generally kind of roguishly avoiding being in the literal limelight of the room. You don't necessarily get the vibe that everyone there is ne'er-do-wells. It's just this seems to be the nature of the environment, is you stick to your group, you try and keep to yourselves, and that seems to be the universal personality type in the room.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a free table in the middle of the room. If anything, that'll make you stand out the most. Outside the armor, of course. The armor certainly will attract a few eyes. Some nefarious and some just curious.
Mm-hmm.
But you also add to standing out being in the middle of the room where everyone else is hugging the walls.
Yep. I like it that way.
Right. So a few moments go by, and the bartender, while Vlad is currently eating at the bar, he decides to pardon himself from Vlad's presence, and he goes around the bar. He walks over to you, and Andre, like I said, he's a very big, bulky guy. Definitely been eating his Wheaties. He comes over, he looks at you. Hello, madam. May I get you anything?
Still with that same forced smile, she looks up to the man and says, "Yes, I would very much favor something light to chew on, as well as some wine. I don't care how sour it is or how splendid it is. I just need wine."
He nods carefully, and while you talk, similar to what Vlad experienced, you get this analyzing eye from Andre. He is very intent in analyzing you. He looks over your armor, and you notice his eyes just catch everything, from the little scars on you to the quality and the design of your armor. This is a very calculated and very analytical individual. Though he may look like a big bruiser, you can tell if he's not experienced necessarily exactly with who or what you are, he knows something just by analyzing you. But
okay, so he has a good noggin.
Mm-hmm. But after a few moments, he nods and says, "Very well. If you would like, I have some fresh wine. It's from Transylvania, if you're curious."
What would a Dodger know Transylvania? in that instance.
All right, so
I don't know if it could
Transildan,
why.
yeah, it's technically the official country name is Transildan. You do take note he said Transildania. Transildania is the old name for Transildan, before the country became what it is now. It used to be a kingdom like Valakia, but now it's a republic. They changed their name slightly when they became a republic.
Okay.
So, with that, can you roll me insight?
Absolutely. Let's see. Normal. That is a 17.
Okay. So, though you don't know exactly why, you do take note that he very purposefully said Transildania as opposed to Transildan. So, with that, you think you get the sense he's testing you. He's trying to see if you're a native to Valakia, because a native to Valakia, most Valakians say Transildania still, because that's the country that bordered them in the south for so long. They even had a couple wars with them in ancient times. So, for him to go with that term, as opposed to Transildan, which, he lives in Bree Hollow. That's the border town between the, it hits the river that separates the two countries. So, you get this hint. You get the hint that he's trying to see if you clock that he said that. He's definitely looking for your reaction. He's trying to see if you are a foreigner or not.
She offers a slightly more genuine smile with that. Yes, Transylvania had a very good taste of wine last I checked. And as far as I remember, it's been a while though. Please, I'll take a few glasses of that.
Alright. He nods. That'll be 2 silver. And I'll be right back with the bottle.
She nods. And she prepares the 2 silver. Just places it on the table.
He comes back with the bottle and a nice glass. Pours the first one for you and sets the bottle aside. It's not a big bottle. You'll get like 2 or 3 glasses out of it. But he takes the coin and bows very respectfully. And he says as he walks away, "Welcome home."
Thank you. She smiles. And begins to pour up her drink and just try to relax a little bit after the long trek.
Alrighty. Alright, so next up, Radu, my final native. Radu, you arrive just like Vlad did at the northern gate. You catch all the same things that he did. Very shabby town. You're used to the kind of grim vibe, especially towards nighttime. You also know the dangers that come with night, so you definitely chalk it up to that. You walk in, and you initially look all around for the library, but then it hits you. You arrived a little late in the evening, probably closed. So you walk through the town, and Bescu's catches your eye. It's one of the only actively lit buildings at this hour that's definitely still active. So you take your walk inside. Could you please describe your character for me, please?
Radu is a very small man, at most 5'8". He is very pale and obviously hasn't seen much sunlight in his life. It is pretty clear for everyone that looks at him for a while that he is a studious person that spends more time in a library, closer to the books, but also that he has a rather pale shade and a gray-blue tint to his skin, as some that are blessed by Venya have. He has dark hair, a large pouch on his side that clearly holds some scripts, some scrolls, and some probably spell books, as well as a backpack that holds all his necessities. And he will slowly and carefully enter the tavern while always staying in the light places, trying to always look around and be a bit mindful, as he is not used to being around alone, as he's one who grew up in a large family and has had a lot of safety in his life.
All right.
And he will check the area, see how the people are in the tavern, and look around.
As you look around, roll me a perception check. So 21, very nice. So you look around very, intently. You take note of, all these sequestered groups that seem to be hugging the walls. You immediately take note of two groups. One of them has all their hoods up, and they seem to be like very, very intentionally, although they're trying to make it appear otherwise. They are kind of in a circle together around a table. They all have cloaks, and they all have hoods up. And they're making sure that basically they're using each other to block the view of one another for the rest of the room. This is not uncommon to see throughout Valakia, but through this, it's pretty clear that these guys are either rogues, probably thieves. Best to stay away from them. It's either that, or they are potentially cultists of Zerez, which used to be illegal in the country. However, in recent years, it has become legally practiced, likely due to bribes to the royal family. So, given the fact that you can't really tell for certain which is which, but either way, they are certainly not the most welcoming of crowd. You also take a note of another group that catches your eye that seems to also be watching you. You can't really make out exactly who these are, but unlike this other group that you noticed, they don't have their hoods up. They seem to be more open about their appearance into the room. They're not shielding each other from any kind of notice. At the head of this group seems to be an old man with a long white beard. You don't recognize him, but you do recognize the person next to him. The person next to him, is a friend of one of your family members, who actually, you were told, was in town.
What would his name be, and how did my family member know him?
All right, his name is Daniel. He's a bit of a young, not acolyte necessarily, but he's a devotee of Evnos. He is planning on heading to the capital to begin his education. He's a few years younger than you. In terms of his association with your family, right. So his association is with one of your younger brothers. That'd be Vasily. You know him to be a bit of a mischief maker. Not your brother, but this individual. He was traditionally a mischief maker growing up. Friends with Vasily. Kind of a quirky guy, but he's corrected himself in recent years, devoted himself to Evnos, and becoming a lot more studious. In a weird way, kind of following your footsteps more so than Vasily.
I would give the first group a wide berth and get closer to the second group. See if he immediately recognizes me as I move purposely towards him. And give him a bright smile.
You approach, and Daniel kind of glances at you and looks away, and then does a double take. It's like, oh. Ah! Radu! Vasily told me you'd be coming. Come, sit.
Ah, good to see you. It's been a long time.
You as well.
And I hope that Evnos has been treating you well.
She blesses me every day. More knowledge coming to me with every book I open. As I've heard, you've had a similar experience in the capital, yes?
Yeah, I can say that Evnos blesses us all with knowledge.
Indeed. So.
And?
Oh, good.
And I've been searching a bit for a few special books that the capital doesn't have after visiting my rather large family. But we will see.
Well, I did hear a rumor about the books myself. I regret to inform that it wasn't what I thought. The library seems to have either sold all the interesting recent imports, or any gestures to the man he's been talking to, or this man has them. So the old man kind of he's been smoking on a pipe as, you sat down, and you and Daniels, were kind of going back and forth. He lets off the pipe and he lets out a plume of smoke from his mouth. Greetings, and what is your name?
I am Radu of House Fulgar,
Ah,
and I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
likewise. I've actually learned a little bit about you this evening. Not you specifically, forgive me, but your family.
Mhm.
You are connected, I hear?
You could say that my family has a very, very large and very long tradition of trading and finding whatever is worth something. Vena has blessed us in many kinds.
His grin kind of opens very widely, and you notice a couple teeth are missing. This man's easily in his mid-50s, early 60s. He's definitely seen some things. He reads you quite intently. Well, it just so happens I'm interested in making some sales that might be of value to certain groups. And he takes a whiff off of his pipe.
Well, depending on what you have to sell, it could be something for me, or I would have to send you off to one of my family members, as I am not the most well-versed in all of the things. I gave my love to Efnon and the study of books and knowledge.
I see. A man of faith. I respect this. I myself consider Quetzal to be my choice of god to follow. Roll me insight.
Second.
You get the sense he's not being truthful in a obvious way, so you're not sure why. But there's certainly a subtext that you're not necessarily... Well, there's a subtext he wants you to get, but it's not clear exactly what it is.
I would look at him for one moment and pretty much crease my brows, go, "You do not see me a man of the sea."
Yeah, he chuckles to a little bit. And he takes another whiff off his pipe. It's a long one this time, and the whole time he's like staring intently in your eyes. Perhaps not. But should you need me, and should you become curious about this business proposition, he reaches into a side pocket and pulls out what looks like a folded up paper. It's not sealed or anything, so you're not sure if it's a letter, but he puts it in front of you. Please pass that along to who you think would be most interested. So he stands up and he empties his pipe into like a little ashtray. And he nods to Daniels. I have to retire for the night. My old bones are quaking. Good night, Radu. Daniels? Daniels looks kind of disappointed as he walks away. Trying to convince him to sell me that book.
What kind of book did he have?
Well, I heard rumor from the library that he was trying to sell them a copy. And he kind of looks around. A copy of Rory's Adventures. Not an original, but a second edition. I've never read a second edition. I've only ever read a fifth edition.
How would a man like him get to one of those?
I don't know. I thought all the second editions were accounted for. Most of them ended up in museums. But if he has it, I would love to read it. To be that close to the original iteration of Rory's words and works. What could be learned about the gods?
The problem is often that you find books that have been changed from the original meaning, and so will not hold the same truths. But you have to study and see what is really behind.
Indeed. Well, I'm going to retire for the night as well. I'll see you in the morning, maybe?
For sure. Should the winds not take me further.
So Daniel stands up and seems to kind of stretch, pats you on the shoulder, and seems to head out the door. Alright, so now we're going to do our non-native introductions. Alright, we'll do this. So before I roll, is anyone who's like me, next. Okay, I'll roll. Alright, Ludus. So, Ludus, you arrive on the... And I will say this as like a group for all the non-natives. All of you guys arrive at the dock via the ferry. All of you guys had to make your way to Valakia through Transyldan, which, for context, is currently at war with its neighboring country, Rusa. It's, it was a bit of a tenuous journey, but you're hoping to get a little bit of a toned-down energy. You've heard rumors about Valakia, but it can't be worse than a war-torn country like Transyldan. So, collectively, the three of you get off the boat. But, Baluk, you enter the city through the southern gate, and you take note of the place. It's very grimy, seems very Gothic in architecture, and like I described before, the crowds and the people moving around seem to be hurrying to their homes for the evening. And it seems like not too many people are lingering or heading to places of social gathering for the late evening. But, like before with the others, you take note of Bescu's, and you decide to wet your whistle. Please describe your character for us.
I am a 6-foot-tall black dragonborn named Baluk with red eyes. He tries to be very, he likes to think things through. He's not very quick to act. And so he is almost seen as aloof or as impassive or along those lines. But in reality, he's trying to think of what is the best way to get out of whatever situation he has gotten himself into this particular time.
All right. So, as you enter the pub, you take note of the obvious that I mentioned before. All these sequestered groups seem to be hugging the walls. Very active place technically, though not very upbeat or loud music or anything like that. Seems very reserved. What do you do when you've entered the tavern?
I go up to the bar and ask for a drink.
So you approach the bar, and Andre takes note of you, and immediately his eyes widen. And as you hit the bar, you take note that everyone in the room has gone quiet and is looking over at you. Welcome. I don't often see Dragonborn. What can I get you?
We are some hot tea, please. But yes, we are a rare breed.
That's an understatement. Welcome. He turns around and he prepares a quick tea for you. Brings it over, and would you like any milk or sugar for that?
No, thank you. This will be fine.
Alright, 1 silver.
I hand it to him.
He takes it, looks it over, puts it in his pocket. Like with the others, you take in that he's carefully looking you over and analyzing you. You're kind of used to this, being a Dragonborn. You travel around. You always will attract a lot of eyes, but these looks seem to be less like suspicion and more analytical. He's trying to read you.
Right. I try and just remain as passive as possible, as impassive as possible. So, like, not that he can't get a read on me. It's just there's not a read to get.
Okay.
How close is he to Vlad at the moment?
The bar's not very big, so I'd say if he did try to avoid sitting directly next to you, he'd still only be 2-3 stools away from you.
It wouldn't particularly matter. So, dealer's choice.
I'm going to try and find the seat furthest away from him.
All right. So the furthest seat away would probably be about 4 stools over.
I move there.
All right. And are you doing this subtly or are you doing this openly?
Oh no, fully open.
Okay. So I would definitely say, Baluk, you clock it. But again, not entirely unusual. Certainly...
It's not unusual.
Yeah. I will say that you do take note... Actually, roll me insight. And if you wish to contest it, Tang, please roll me either performance or deception.
Soft 20.
Soft 20.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't want to hide. I'm not hiding anything.
Okay. So Baluk, you take note that unlike the usual vibe you get from someone avoiding you, this isn't fear or apprehension. This is dislike. This is hatred. Well, maybe not overt hatred, but there's definitely a disdain for you in this. Now, that's not unheard of or unexperienced by you before, but it's notable because it's more often fearful avoidance.
Right. It's more often, oh, you don't belong here. And this is like, you really don't belong here. Oh, yeah, I get it. Having gone through this almost my entire life, this is like, oh, this is nothing new. I enjoy my tea.
Okay. All right, we'll pull in our next player then, in the form of... there's only 2 left to choose from. Let's go with Karen next.
All right, so Corinne is riding into town on the back of her sturdy and reliable draft horse. She has her armor is poking out. She is wearing a sort of a gray cloak over top just for the sake of weather, but it is fairly obvious that her armor is poking out, and the most obvious part is her winged helmet. And her pole arm, which the blade is currently covered with a leather covering, sort of tucked in the stirrup by her foot and resting against her shoulder as she rides down the street.
Alrighty. So, as you're walking through the street, you notice the place is toned down for the evening, and like the others, you check out Bescu's.
Right, so dismounting from, I toss a couple bronze to one of the stable hands to hand them the reins to the horse. Still holding the covered glaive over shoulder. Steps into Bescu's, looking forward to some hot food for the first time in the last week or so of travel.
All right. So just to clarify, do you want to put the horse in the stable? Because there is technically a stirrup spot in front of Bescu's itself if you wanted to put your horse right there.
Just like a tie-off?
Yep.
All right. So this is just a typical... this isn't like a place you would find a room inside that's just a place for food and drink?
There are rooms up top. It's clearly more for drinks and more of a tavern, but it does seem to have rooms as well. It's kind of it is both a tavern and an inn, but the inn part is less emphasized.
Alright, so I guess for now, because I think she was more intending to get in, get some food, she'll tie off her horse on the little on the horse tie off spot, like the little railing. So just ties off the reins, gives the horse just straps like the bag of feed, just like some oats and stuff around to the bridle, so it has something to eat. And steps inside Bescu's, pulling, sort of unfastening the cloak and showing her full form for the first time. So a very, very tall, striking woman with long black hair, pale skin.
So you enter
Gleaming
in. So as you enter in, you immediately clock the same things as before. Groups hugging the walls. Open in the middle of the room. Bar seems more or less vacant outside of Vlad and now Baluk. Would you like to make a perception check? This is optional. This is just to see if you want to look around the room for a
Would
particular
you
group.
prefer I use Foundry's roll or roll physical?
Do you know your modifier?
I do. For perception?
Yes.
I've got it right here. It's +4. So.
Alright. You can go ahead and physically roll it.
Right. Make my dice. 19.
19.
So 15 +4.
So you clock the shady group kind of near the walls, near one of the windows. Definitely seem to be like sequestering themselves, shielding each other from view. Again, similar to what Dragonis clocked earlier. Corinne gets a sense that these are either rogues or cultists. Either way, not the nicest group of lads.
She takes special note of them, though her years traveling with her teacher and learning a few things have taught her to, even if there's an enemy to fight or deal with, to not necessarily play your hand right off. So she will pretend as if she did not notice them and will stride up to the bar. She is going to look to see if there are any that she might see as a kindred warrior type spirit, someone to sit next to who might have some interesting tales to tell.
Yeah, I will say, based on your prior perception roll, the most obvious individual for that would be Vlad by the bar.
Most obvious individual, so Vlad, and I imagine I probably would see Litany's character. What was the name again? Adagio. So I would probably see Adagio. Are they sitting fairly close together?
Adagio's in the center of the room in like a circular table. She's sitting kind of by herself, drinking some wine. Where I'd say distance-wise between her and Vlad is about 6 feet away at the bar, because most of the tables do have like a gap between them and the bar itself. So yeah, about a solid 6 feet away from each other. They're definitely within earshot of each other. So, and given how most of the conversations in this tavern seem to be private and be in these like little groups here and there, if you wanted to talk to each other at that distance, you wouldn't have to yell or raise your voice at all.
Right, she will walk up to the bar first, and will ask for a mug of mead and something hot to eat.
All right. So you walk up to the bar. Andre, big bulky lad, leans over and takes note of you. And like with the others, immediately starts analyzing you. And he says to you, "What can I get you?"
A mug of mead and something hot and hearty, if you have it.
Mm. I have some freshly warmed up stout mead, if you'd like some of that. Unless you mean
I'll take
for
some
hot
of
food.
that. Well, yeah, that is what I meant. A drink and some hot food. Nothing. If you don't have it, just a simple hearty stew will do. Just hot and filling.
I can whip something up real quickly, but I warn you, it's mostly going to be mixed in with jerky.
That is completely fine to me.
Alright. So, it brings you over, and you said you did want the mead?
Yeah, the mug of mead and like whatever like hot stew he makes up.
Right. So, he heats so the mead is, as he said, it's very warm. You can't tell if that's on purpose, like he heated it in some way, or if it's just been left out and there's no clear, obvious way he had to chill it. By the way, it tastes very nice, warm. Certainly hits your stomach weirdly. It does take a few minutes, and he boils some veggies and some stuff into a small little tin behind the bar where there's like a little fire pit. It takes a few minutes, but he eventually does stir up a soup of, kind of, anyway. A soup of some kind to give you. And as he said, there's jerky bits in it. It's not the tastiest, but it is what you asked for.
Hot and filling.
Mm.
Right, and then just ask, all right, how much?
Well, I admit the soup isn't the best, so let's just call it even on the drink. The mead is only a silver.
She will slide over 2 silvers.
He takes note of the second and raises an eyebrow.
That's for the stew, even though it's not much.
He nods gratefully and takes them.
She will take her food, looking around to the people she noted. She gets the sense that Vlad probably has. He's not as bright and standing out as Adagio, but she likes to sit down and hear tales of other warriors and adventurers, and he has the look of having a fair few himself. So she will make a point of walking up to him and asking, "Is one of these seats taken? Or do you have
Vlad's
enough
gonna
room
turn.
for a fellow warrior?"
Vlad's gonna turn, look her up and down, kind of just shrugs. Seat's a seat. You need to take it.
She takes a seat next to him and immediately takes a spoonful of the soup and to eat, and then a swig of mead. And to Vlad, it simply states, "So you look like a fellow with quite a few stories and scars to go with those stories."
To have a few.
Now tell me about that particular story, and she takes she points to one of the scars on your face.
Vlad kind of thinks about it for a second. So many I've forgotten which one does which. This one kind of rubs it in. I think it was a wolfback, maybe a bear. Something big, definitely. Tough hunt, for sure.
So you're
And
a
he's
hunter,
going to
then.
continue describing, yeah, just monster hunting here and there, other busy work, anything that put grog in the cup and meat in the food in the mouth.
Oh, monsters. What's the would you say would be the most interesting monster you've killed?
Vlad is going to think for a while. Interesting. They're all interesting. I've got big, small, with scales, with fur. Can't really say which one I'll pick. Maybe
Let's
I'll
talk
kind of
about the
blade
biggest
down.
then.
All right, and as you guys are conversing back and forth about this, Jaber.
Yes.
All right. You also enter the city from the southern gate off of the ferry. You look about place as I described before, given the late evening, and like the others, you take note of Bescu's. Seems nice and warm and seems active. So you enter. Can you please describe your character for me, please?
Well, I'd like to start off by saying that I wasn't going to enter Bescu's. I had no
Oh,
plan on going in there
Okay.
until I saw the Dragonborn go in.
Hmm.
Like how I look, I would have just fit in with the rest of the rabble, just hiding in the alleyways. I pretty much survive off nothing anyway, so it would have just been another day for me. But after seeing the tall black Dragonborn go in there, I kind of poked my head in and see. You can't really see much of me. Masculine figure covered in a dark green cloak. I have my face wrapped too, and if you would look close enough, you might see reptilian eyes. But I kind of keep my head down a little bit, and I just sit at the first available chair closest to the door.
All right. So the chair is at a very so there's a bit of a stool right by the door. It seems like it's for like if the place got super busy, it'd be like a waiting spot. You take a seat there and can kind of take in the room. Is there anything in particular you'd like to clock about Baluk or in the bar?
All right, now I'm just sitting by the door observing everybody and everything. My eyes keep going back to the Dragonborn at the bar,
Okay.
but I'm not making it obvious or anything.
All right. Baluk, roll me perception to see if you notice this, and I also got to roll perception for Andre, see if he notices the customer at the very edge of the room.
13.
13. All right. To contest him noticing you, Jaber, can you have elusive roll stealth or deception? I'll leave it up to you.
Did it not roll?
No, it did.
I did.
All right. So 19. Right. So that so I will say Baluk, you look about because you just look about. You know someone else walked in, but to you he just kind of blends in. So you go back to sipping your tea. And likewise Andre takes note of you, Jaber, entering, but he doesn't approach. He just seems to look you over briefly. But goes back to washing some mugs and stuff behind the bar. Alright, so the party has all entered the tavern. Back to Pyrrhus and Tang's characters interacting. So you guys go over a couple of quick stories, with Vlad being not necessarily avoidant, but disinterested in going into too much detail about his misadventures.
So the most recent one was like a misadventures. Was it more of a sing story?
Yeah, you cut up a little bit there, Pierce. Can you say that again?
Oh, sorry. I was asking if it was, like you said, like a couple misadventures. Would you say it was like one of his more amusing stories, like trying to tell like sort of that kind of thing?
I would say, Vlad, you were trying to play off one of your stories humorously, so yeah.
Corinne would chuckle. It's like, so it dragged you that far, huh?
You're surprised how strong these little bastards are.
I'm assuming you got him. Got the little bugger in the end, though.
I'd be here talking to you if I hadn't. And I'm going to also order another drink, as my ale is probably dry at the moment.
Andre will come over, and he offers you another ale, and I will say with the second, it will start to affect you. So can you roll me a Constitution save? With advantage.
Oh. Okay.
No, it's fine. Just roll the
Hold on.
second one. And we'll go with the higher of the two numbers. First
That's
one.
an 18.
So 18. You start to feel a slight buzz, but you're not drunk at all.
Right. So, I'm also going to, as I'm talking, I'm going to take a look around to see if I notice anyone specific, any interesting person in the bar apart from the people I've seen already, just as a precaution.
Roll me perception.
That's a 10. Not much.
You look around outside those creepy rogues or cultists by the window. No individual seems to stick out. It's not hard to catch Adagio, who obviously you don't know her name yet, but it's not hard to catch her. Very flashy armor with a 10, not really hiding herself also in the middle of the room. Catches your eye. Dragonborn, already aware of that individual. But otherwise, nobody else seems to stand out too much.
Right.
She will notice kind of him looking around the room and just very quietly, surreptitiously ask, "Something the matter? So you'd probably be able to know more than I do, but what have you got your eye out for?"
Just when you're in the wild, you always look for trouble, and I guess it chased me here as well. Nothing in particular, just normal riffraff.
I've noticed this since entering this country, everyone seems a little bit on edge. Is that the norm? I only know the bare bones of the situation in this country, just from what I've heard in rumors and passerbys.
Yeah, I don't do politics. I mostly go in the wild, so might want to ask some little more city people. And he's gonna say that with a little bit of a disdain in his voice.
And as a monster hunter, should at least get some idea of the nature of the current situation. If there's significantly more jobs and more work, if there's more monsters about, that surely means instability and trouble. Which I suppose means more money for you, but
Asmo, have there been more monsters recently? I know that there's been some uptake, but has it been significant?
With that, roll me history, because you will kind of be
History.
referencing history with that thought.
Okay. That's a 6. So I'm gonna look at it as monsters. They're here and there every time.
As far as you're concerned, business has always been good as a monster hunter. Valakia has always been known to be a very densely monstrous place. As it is, it's a miracle a kingdom was ever formulated here, given the populations. But given the kobolds hunt them quite regularly, and there never seems to be an end to them, you wouldn't really clock if there was an especially low or high amount of incidences. It seems to ebb and flow.
There's always work for the monster hunter.
She simply nods and then makes a surreptitious glance at the nefarious cultist in the room while taking a sip of her another drink of her mead.
All right. So Andre kind of leans down in the bar, seems to be putting away a now clean mug. And as he does, you guys hear like approaching laughter, kind of very boisterous, coming towards the tavern, and everyone around the room starts to get quieter. Like the cultist, roguish types, they seem to quiet down instantly. Everyone in the pub seems to, who, if they're not native of the town specifically, but they're familiar with the area, or the people, as far as you're concerned, are locals, all seem to quiet down. And in enters a series of guards. You recognize the black and red tabard that they're wearing. They're definitely local guards. Two of them clearly are already inebriated. You can't tell if it's from booze or from drugs or some other similar narcotic. One of them definitely has his eyes a little bit dilated. And they're kind of like the two most inebriated two seem to be holding each other up. The leader of the group looks like the least interested to be with this little gaggle. But they enter, and Andre stands up at full height, and I'd say roll insight for anyone who's curious to what his facial expression means. But at a glance, he does give a little bit of a grimace.
Let's see, my insight modifier. Okay.
17.
16.
All right, 17, 16,
19.
19. All right. You gauge. This is a look of disgust and disdain. Like, this is, I hate you, as they approach. But he quickly, he stoically solidifies his expression. And the drunken guards approach. The two that are kind of barely holding each other up just flop onto some stools. The lead one that looked disinterested to be with his group just kind of sits calmly at one of the stools. And the final one, who was the one laughing, he's the biggest of the four of them. He's got a half helmet on, no face cover, but just the cap. He sits down and he kind of calms down his laughter. He starts to trail off, and he's the first to speak proper. Andre, whew, your finest ale for these wondrous guards here. We have 2 new recruits, as you can see. Andre kind of puts both hands on the bar and kind of spreads them out a bit. You've yet to pay off your tab. And the emotional change is so instant that it's kind of off-putting. The big guy who was just laughing and just asked for the drinks, his face immediately goes stern and his eyebrows furrow. He looks like very offended. What did you say? I said you have not paid off your tab. Sorry, I seem to not be able to hear you. What did you say to me? So you can see Andre's muscles tense. And again, he's a big guy. This other guy's also big. They're similar in size, but Andre's definitely bulkier. And you can tell, there's a little vein beginning to pulse in Andre's forehead. Fine. That's what I thought. Your finest ales, please. So Andre turns around and you see he looks through the bottles and he grabs one randomly. You don't get the vibe he grabbed the best one. And he fills 4 mugs and separates them out. And the 2 inebriated individuals continue to, drink, and they start singing, but it's really off key. It's really boisterous. And the bigger one takes a swig and he starts to look around. And as he does, he glances over and he catches Baluk. Well, isn't that a sight? Hey! Hey, Scaly! Woohoo! Do you react in any way?
Not yet.
So he kind of like waves his hand over and he gets off and he swigs a little bit stronger into his ale and sets it down. Walks over to you. Hey, do you speak common? Hello? And he's not quite like right next to your head, but he's kind of close. Hey.
I look over at the bartender, just try and get a feel for how he's taking this.
Roll me insight again. Because he's definitely trying to hide his emotions.
Anyone?
You can't tell.
I say, I look over at the bartender, I'm like, how much was their tab?
He narrows his eyes at you. 3 large gold coins.
That would be 30 in your inventory.
3 large gold coins is 30 gold.
Yep. I look over at the guy like, oh, sounds like you've got something to work on.
The big boisterous guard looks pissed. What did you say to me, you fucking horny bitch? And he's now pushed himself right in front of your face, even though you're facing towards the bar. He's just leaning over.
It said you now have something you need to work on, don't you?
Alright. He attempts to grab hold of you. And he's going to try and lift you up and throw you onto the bar. Obviously, I hope... do you contest?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's going to be athletics v athletics.
I'm going to fail it, but I'm going to contest anyway.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know. That was a 19.
He got a nat 20. So he lifts you up like you weigh nothing, even though you're a big dragonborn. But he lifts you up and slams you onto the bar. You're gonna take, just from that, 3 points bludgeoning. And he's holding you down and he's staring you in the eyes. He's like, "You better watch yourself, huh? Otherwise, you might find you're not so protected." And he's holding you there.
With that particular show, very surreptitiously, before he can do anything, Corinne will use the gust cantrip because it's at a point I can see. Can I flavor it to where it's aimed at his legs, trying to knock him over, and try to angle it as if it's a gust of wind from the door?
That'd have to be a pretty strong gust to move him.
It's let me click it so you can read it.
It's
the first one is one medium smelling creature you choose must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed up.
Okay, so it already has it in it.
5 feet.
Yeah,
so it's built in.
Yeah, that flavoring's fine. Yep. I will...
Trying to make him look like a fool in front of everybody. Just try and make him lose face.
Okay. Soft 20. What is the... it was 15.
It's a DC 15 saving throw, so I guess he does not get thrown 5 feet.
No, but he does take note with a sudden gust. He's like, "Hey! The hell was that?" And one of the 2 drunken guards comes over. Brago, what's that? And he's like, he looks at Baluk. The lizard? It's a dragonborn. Go sit down. I'm dealing with this.
DM,
Yes.
I would like to throw my wine bottle at his head.
Ooh, okay.
Hold on, I have one better, but okay.
Do let me know.
Also,
what-
could
And
I-
meta-wise, you can make an argument that he did ask before you suggested your idea, so
Yeah.
for that he will he
No,
gets
that's
Of course.
But if you want to
if
meta
you still wanna
argue,
do it,
yeah, if you want to meta argue your thing first, he can rescind it.
Let me hear what you wanted to do, Ludus.
I'm gonna press the digitation and set him on fire.
Oh, just,
Oh. I mean, that's definitely a creative way to use it.
That is that is the first time I've heard prestidigitation used like that.
Normally,
You instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. I'm choosing his pants.
Yeah.
oh, he's trying
I was
to
about
make
to
it
say,
seem
it
like
probably
he
requires
set himself on fire
example,
accidentally.
Yeah.
Tomato
Oh,
potato.
and Dragonis said he wanted to, if he needed to do, because I did try to be sneaky with the gust cantrip, and Dragonis wanted to know if he could roll if he saw it.
Yes,
I would
you,
like to check it.
yeah, you can re-roll perception, but first we'll resolve this first. So,
How about this? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Ludus, if it's okay, I have a little idea. If you really want to do it, because burning pants is certainly going to hurt him regardless.
I mean, yeah, go for it. Go for what you were going to do. Like as I said, you went first. That was my bad.
Yeah, it's okay though. Like you, feel free to ignite the wine afterwards if you want. But yeah, I
mean,
the
that's
wine
fair.
bottle at him.
All right, roll me dex, so we see how accurate your throw is.
It's not a improvised weapon check.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll go for it. Let me see. Where are my weapons? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna roll the d20 flat.
Okay.
Strange. I did.
Did
No,
I roll?
I rolled it.
Okay, try again.
Not. One roll. Oh, here comes two of them. All right, so that's 12.
12. Okay. I'd say at that distance,
Oh,
that's pretty accurate. So you throw it, and it does hit him center mass. Just a what the? And he's now dripping with.
He's now drenched in wine.
Yep, he's drenched in wine, and he's definitely at some glass kind of shatter on him. I'll roll a d6. Oh, okay.
And is it at that point
Very
that the
sharp
pants
glass.
get lit on fire by the candle?
Yeah, if Ludus is still following through.
So I'm also going to use one of my features. I'm going to use subtle spell.
Mhm.
So I don't need a somatic or verbal component.
Yeah, he's
Wise.
And his pants catch fire.
Ooh. So,
So just a nearby candle suddenly just flickers.
yeah, and just going by with the fire play, I instantly light or snuff out a candle. So that tells me that the flame itself is not like massive. It's not like a firebolt, and certainly not a fireball. It's more of a spark.
Yeah.
So that being
He is
said,
drenched in wine.
yeah, the wine will help. It is very concentrated, so that will cause a light. It's just not going to be an engulf kind of flame.
Oh no, I wasn't hoping for an engulf. I was.
I know.
hoping
I'm
for
just
a fuck off
clarifying
me. Okay.
that this is going to be a small burn.
Yeah.
So
Causing a big distraction as well as, a bit of embarrassment,
So the flame does light, and the wine does kind of accelerate it a bit as it starts to really catch on his pants. It's not really like a big like a flame. It's more like how sometimes with flame that comes off alcohol it can be invisible, like you can't really see it with the naked eye. It's more like a flame like that. So and it's like kind of scorching like into his pants, and you see like the blackening of the pants kind of burn around, and he quickly starts like patting it and smacking it. It's like God, fuck. And he does successfully like pat it out. There's a little sizzle in his hand too, and there's lots of snickering for some of like people in the margins. and one of his inebriated fellow guardsmen behind him starts openly laughing. And he turns around, and he grabs that guardsman by the scruff. You think that's fucking funny? Huh? He's like holding him like real tight. And he's so inebriated, he's not capable of thinking this through. And he's like... So, this big guy, Brago, as you heard his name earlier, punches this other guardsman in the face real hard. Ooh. That guy's out like a light. Just bam! So he hits back and smacks his head against the pub, and he's out cold. Suddenly, the leader of this little pack, at least in terms of like who entered the tavern first, smaller than Brago is, and he's been quiet up to this point, has said really nothing, stands up, and looks at Brago with this hyper-aggressive expression. And this individual has ginger hair, kind of cut short, kind of trimmed at the sides, not too dissimilar to the haircut that the bartender has, Andre, although, of course, ginger. And his green eyes are, like, piercing as he looks at Brago in the face. And despite the fact that the size difference, because this individual, he's like 5'9". Like, he's not tall and big and imposing. He's certainly nowhere near as bulky as Brago. Up to this point, you'd assume Brago was the leader of this little pack of guards. But the expression on Brago's face goes from rage and frustration to cowed. Like, he is scared of him. If you want to read more into that, you can roll me insight.
Alright.
Love to.
Okay, what's my modifier? That would be a 23.
23, nice. All right.
19 plus 4.
Brago is petrified of this guy. Like, he didn't even consider him up to this point. Like, it seems like whoever this guy is, for all you know, he might be the guard captain. He might just be particularly scary to Brago for some reason. But whatever the case is, Brago is borderline pissing his pants that this guy stood up and is looking at him. So a moment like that passes, and Brago kind of like tries to look away from him. This individual walks up to Brago and gets like right up to his face. And Brago's not looking him in the eye. He's looking down, like to the side. This guy says nothing, just continues to stare at him. He reaches into his back pocket, and you see him pull out what looks like a leather purse. And he just tosses it on to the bar with a thunk. And without looking away, like, and again, the intensity of his glare, you feel like he could burn. And without looking at Andre, he says in a kind of cold voice, "With a tab and the trouble." And he continues to stare at Brago as he walks and starts to head out. And Brago, like, lets out, you just realize through that, he was holding his breath the whole time. That guy was staring at him. And he looks around, like, defensively, like, somewhat embarrassed. And then he picks up the fellow guardsman he knocked out and, like, lifts him up and carries him out, with the final inebriated one slowly marching behind. And Andre, as well as every other patron of the place, watches as they exit. Dead silence.
At this point, Corinne would stand up, walk over to Baluk, who got roughed up a little bit, and give him a lay on hands, which I think just a single charge, because he didn't take that much of a hit.
Nah. I only lost 3 hit points.
Alright, now roll. Wow, only 1. Okay, I guess I tried. I make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
More.
It's the thought that counts.
Moral support.
DM?
Shoot.
If I may, Darju is going to rise from her seat, and she will head over to the bar.
Yeah, good.
And once she's before Andre, she will say the following: "Pardon the mess. I can't stand authorities being mismanaged and misused. Here." And she places 5 silver on the counter for him. For the trouble. And she pulls out a large gold coin. For the tavern. Drinks all around. On me.
It's at the first time since you guys not only entered the town, but the country. You get like a sense of revelry from the crowd. It's not quite super verbose and excitable, but you do get a couple of cheers from the corners of some of the groups. But it's still relatively reserved, but it's the most like widespread optimism you've sensed when you offer a round.
It's like a burst of whoop whoop.
Yep. It is brief, and a lot of the groups, immediately, just wait for their drinks after that. But it is notable. Like, this is a very, not necessarily grim place, but it's reserved.
Yeah.
So, Andre nods. I'll take the gold coin. And he pushes the silver back. They've already paid. And he just holds up the purse.
She takes her silver back, if he insists. She
Quick
gets
question.
Everyone gets
Yes.
their drinks.
Was the
Yes, I-
14 perception enough to notice the magic that Karen did earlier? When
Assuming
the gust.
assuming Corinne, you were trying to do it subtly, so kind of in retrospect, can you roll me a stealth roll?
Will do.
It is speaking
Yeah.
and sign language when you do it, so
Yeah,
This
It is
isn't trying to
noticeable.
hide, so
verbal and somatic.
like it isn't like hide with armor and stuff. So this would probably nix the disadvantage on for armor stuff. 'Cause
I'd
this is sort of
say,
just kind of like subtle
uh,
hand movement.
yeah, I'll let this slide with that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. It's my modifier stealth. 18, 16
18.
plus 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna say with a 14, no, you weren't able to clock it. I will say with a 14, you
Okay.
clocked that magic was cast. You just don't know by who.
pretty much would keep out an eye after that because I did notice that something was off about that whole situation. But not knowing who did what, I wouldn't want to step out.
So after giving the slightly, barely soothing lay on hand, Baluk, Corinne will just whisper to just basically lean into the barkeep and just whisper. So, who's the guy who scared them off?
That is the guard captain. Last name is Warren. Don't mess with him. Technically, he's
gathered
not the
that
captain
much.
here. He's the captain in the whole region. He's dangerous.
I gathered that much as well. Seems. Is this just a general rule of thumb around here to keep be careful around the guard? Because it seems like the regular people are rather careful around them.
He nods. Normally, if you're having a problem, it's best to figure it out yourself. If you ask the gods for help, you might get lucky and there's one or two of them that give a damn. But more often than not, they'll make it worse. No matter what it is. Family member was murdered,
Promises-
they'll kill another just for bothering them.
She
And
grimaces at that and says, "Disgraceful. Those who would take a job to protect others behaving so. Were I not sensible having learned a few lessons in that regard, I would have attempted to pound a lesson into them, but I didn't want to cause trouble for you and the innocents around."
I appreciate it. Look, if you're looking for work, I don't know if you're friends with these others. And he kind of gestures to Vlad, Baluk, pretty much your whole group. With the exception of Radu, because Radu is kind of hiding in the corner here. That and Elusive. But, there's a job. I think if you want to earn some extra coin. Wasn't going to suggest it. You all look like you're a separate group, and this is a multi-person job. But I'd pay handsomely.
Glances over at Vlad. It's like, you were looking for work to do something, and just glances over at the barkeep. Is this to deal with monsters in any way?
It does. It's an extermination job.
Turns again to Vlad. We got a job right up your alley.
Well, first things first. How much?
We can negotiate. But my initial offer, 10 gold coins. Sorry, 10 large gold coins if the job is fully completed.
Right. So, what are we hunting then?
Goblins. I know.
At this point, Vlad's gonna narrow his eyes like 10 large gold coins for goblins.
I know how it sounds. But it has been a real problem. I wouldn't have even offered it. But the guards won't offer the bounty. And someone's around here has got to keep everyone safe. I figured all of you would be traveling through. But if you have the guts to stand up to the guards for even half a second, maybe you're willing to exterminate these goblins. Admittedly, part of the pay is also coming from the risk. It's not just goblins in their den, at least so I hear. We know what cave they're coming out of, and they've been attacking people recently. It's a simple job, but with a large risk factor. Hence the 10 gold coins.
Can I try and roll insight to see how much of a lowball he is trying to do the danger?
You can roll insight to try and gauge that, but obviously I'm not going to tell you, like, if he's lowballing you or not. I'm going to tell you, is he being truthful about what he said?
I
Alright.
will roll as well, since I'm standing right there.
9. Ugh.
Can't really
14.
tell. 14? He seems to be being truthful. Whether he's leaving stuff out or not, you can't tell. But for what he has said, it seems earnest.
So you said it was probably a multiple person job. Glances around the room. There any other worthy adventurers hard up for coin or glory who would join in with us on a hunt?
As I stand up, I look right at her, and I'm like, I have nothing better to do.
Puts a hand on your shoulder. Good a reason as any.
Right, so I'm going to stand up
Asmo?
and start
Yes, sir.
packing up my things.
Earlier, I checked that I pretty much would have gone up to the bar, collected my wine, and tried to listen into what they were talking about, and then I would like to ascertain how truthful he is, because that seems like a lot of money for something that isn't that dangerous. So I've also tried to do the inside check, and then
Alright. You can go ahead and make that roll.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a
Uh,
5. I have no clue.
can't really tell.
I would literally be so
I
awkward
I thought-
and look at the bartender, go like, "You want to pay 10 large gold for goblins?"
He looks and says, "Yes. Things have been getting really bad lately with the tax. As I said. If you don't wish to take the job, that's fine. I can rescind the offer."
That's a lot of money.
It is. I agree.
I thought
As I
you
said-
will try. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That was a wisdom ability check. The insight should be on your list of skills, so on the main page. Go down to insight and then just
I just find it funny there was 3 3s rolled in a row.
Yeah, kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'll try an insight to see if I get something out of it.
Glean nothing from this.
yeah, the highest
I'll
we've
let
gotten
it
so far. Oh no, never.
Hello.
He got a
Someone
higher
knows
one, so
something.
highest I got was a 14.
All right,
But
25.
Right, 25 for an insight check. He's definitely leaving something out.
Uh,
I give him a little.
I would
look.
also ask if
And-
there's still rooms open and if I could book one of them.
Right, before we do that,
I have business in tomorrow.
before we do that, Litany.
Yes. Giving him a pensive look, she will go up to him and ask, hey, can I borrow you for just a moment? I would like to see more of your wine stuff. And she gives a knowing glance to the door.
Roll persuasion.
I will roll persuasion. We have DC value. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, disconnected, refreshed. I'll try again.
Might be faster to roll physical dice if there's a disconnect issue.
I don't think it should be, but sure, I'll try to roll real life then.
Right, do you know your modifier?
10 and 5, so 15.
15. He's hesitant, but he follows you.
We go back behind the door. I assume there's not really much in terms of stockpile.
Not
The
really.
shroud.
Pretty sparse.
Yeah. Taking a few paces forward, and then turn around to look at him. Adagio has a very knowing look, but also a, how do you say, a look of understanding to an extent. She believes, at least. I get the feeling there's a little bit more to the story than just goblins, or at least the full, vast extent of it. I'd like to know what it is I'm throwing myself into.
He narrows his eyes. As I said, there are some dangers in the den of the goblins that I am not entirely aware of. There's a greater risk than just fighting goblins.
Is there any reports in any capacity to what it might be? Have they expressed loud noises, heavy footsteps, anything?
He kind of looks at you and continues to size you up a little bit. There's been rumors that something big is in those caverns. Something that can take flight and tear you to shreds, should it so choose.
And 10 big gold? Is that the full extent of what you can pay in the instance of a success?
It is.
Be honest with me. I promise I'll be honest with you. It is. Very well. I'm not sure what this entity might be. I'm not sure we'll succeed. But if we succeed, depending on what it is, they might not be too pleased with that amount. So, she pulls out her money pouch and hands him, let me see, a big gold coin is 10 gold comparatively, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Give me just a moment to look at my sheet. No. In that case, I give him a whole nother 10 big gold pieces.
Damn. Alright, so
Provide this to us when we return as payment for the big thing. In the meantime, maybe you could just treat me to a free room for a few nights or something.
His eyes narrow. This seems a bit much for a free room. Why?
She smiles, this time genuinely reaching her eyes. You gave me a taste of home again. The first one in a long time, and I appreciate that.
And just to be sure, you're not deceiving necessarily.
I'm not deceiving anything. I'm legitimately just giving him.
Alright. He, stares very intently into your eyes for a minute, then nods. Very well. Thank you.
Well, you can give them the full view of what we expect them, and assure them that if there is truth to the rumors of something bigger, just tell them that there is more coin coming their way then. I'm sure they'll be happy to snap up on the offer then.
Agreed.
And she picks up a random bottle she has found. For the story's sake. And she begins to head out again.
He follows. Alright, so for the rest of the group's perception, they come back. She has a bottle. Andre sits back behind the bar.
Right. So, I'm going to approach, kind of gotten everything that my gear ready up, is like just looking at him. So, Goblin Den, 10 large gold pieces.
Full extermination.
Right. You know the procedure then. And I'm going to look expectantly at him.
Half up front.
Pay up. Yep.
He nods. And he hands over 5 of the large gold coins.
Right. As for anything else we might find, I'm going to assume standard Monster Hunter rates. But we can discuss this later depending on what we find.
Aye.
As said before,
Right.
Corinne was kind of just speaking to this general group in general, just calling on all the rest, anyone who hasn't stood up already, because I think Baluk said yes, and Adagio. So it's just meta-wise, it's Elusive and Radu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Radu is pretty much standing like 1.5 meters next to you, like very shortly away, looking up at you, throwing a few weird looks like he can't really put you in, like you don't look like you belong here. But you also do look like you belong here. Pretty much he notices that you are of a normal race. As you're too
Relatively.
large to build, too unusual for the south. And Asmo, I would.
Looks over at. Sorry. Were you gonna roll something? Sorry.
I was just gonna try and see if I could guess exactly what the race was, or if I could know that already by just looking.
You could roll me a history check. I think would work here.
Okay.
By all intents and purposes, she would look like just a very tall human, so it would have to be a fairly high roll.
That's a 23.
Recognize the signs.
Okay. So with a 23, there are historical accounts of individuals born of giants that would match this description of the person before you.
Pretty much Radu stands there as this very small man, a bit unsure of himself, but looks directly at Karen and would say, "Could it be that you're half a giant?"
Glances at him. You're one of the first people to ever guess that at a glance. People just assume I'm just a very tall woman. Yes, my mother was a cloud giant.
Huh. I will have to say, this is extremely rare.
Very. I've not yet encountered another. I've encountered Goliath, who are those who are several generations removed from the first generation. They tend to equalize a little bit and gain more natural height.
I bet. And it is probably not that usual for any one of your kind to be this far down south. I would offer my help with your task, though I will have to say that I am not a great warrior. I'm a man of magic and knowledge, and I'm curious to see what is there, because I do not believe that goblins would be that much of a trouble. But
she smiles. It's like, though you are no warrior in physicality, a warrior spirit can burn in any heart.
Evanos teaches us to learn, to be inquisitive, to know more, and that is which I do. If you would offer your shield in front of me, I would offer my magic to aid you.
More than fair. She looks around the room and notices Elusive sitting in the corner. She gets a odd sense that he might also be rather tough fellow.
What makes you think
calls
that?
out to him. Well, it's like just general build and the way you carry yourself.
He's very unassuming looking right now. He's in a very
Right, can
worn
I do a...
You can do
dirty.
Yeah, you can do an insight check. Yeah, please do an insight check, and Elusive, do me a deception. No, sorry, not deception. Do a stealth roll.
19 is what I roll, so it's like a 15 plus 4 for insight.
$21.
All right, 21 versus, what was it again?
19.
So while you do not notice Elusive as you look about, the bartender, noticing that you're still looking for potential additional companions, also looks around. And he does, Elusive, he does catch you, Elusive, and like looks at you very carefully. And he mumbles over to you, Corinne. He's good at hiding it, but that one there. And he just kind of nods towards you, Elusive. He's hiding some real skill. Maybe give a talk to him.
She walks over towards Elusive, says, The good patron here seems to think that you are also a man of skill and good in a fight. Would you be willing to join for some coin? And perhaps a little bit of reputation?
I'm not here seeking any reputation. I
And
do
the
not
coin?
know of this fight. I do not require much to survive, but I guess a little coin would not hurt. If we had somewhere less public to discuss things further, then I would suggest that.
Turns to Vlad. Shall
Right.
we... I'm assuming it's evening time right now.
It is.
Alright, so shall we travel out, make camp, or shall we sleep the night and then head out, strike out in the morning and strike camp? And discuss in the morning.
I'm going to turn
I
towards the
would-
bartender and look at him like, so, does lodging go into the price, or do we get our own accommodations?
I'd be willing to house you for the night, for no additional charge.
Right. That's settled then. In that case, I'm going to basically look around. It's like, all right, anyone interested in the job? Let's go, and we can discuss it. Otherwise, bartender, get me something more substantial to eat then.
I'll
And I'm going
do
to
what I
head
can.
I'm going to head towards the room that has been designated for the party without waiting for anyone else to catch up. I'm just going to go and see who joins.
And I would ask the man for some tea leaves and some hot water, as well as some rations that he has to offer.
He will agree to do so to the best of his ability. Alright, so...
I
assuming
thought we
there's-
talked to you, Vlad.
And before heading in, she also says, and have one of your help stable my horse for the night. It's the big black one with the white spot on the forehead.
He nods. I have a place out back. It's a stable, effectively.
Thank you. With that, she would turn and join Vlad in the room.
That's Will Adagio.
I will also slowly move, join them.
I will follow.
Alright. Elusive.
I wait a bit and then just follow.
He brings you guys upstairs, and it looks like he has a couple different rooms, but he brings you to the biggest one. It seems to be like a, size-wise, it's equivalent to like a studio apartment. It's got not a lot of privacy, but it's got several beds and a couple cots, and a fireplace at the end. It's not much, but it should house each of you. I will bring up some tea leaves, and what food I can. Keep in mind, it's only free under the understanding that you do handle this job. And it is only for the duration of the job.
As it is
Of course.
custom, Vlad says.
Alright. I'll let you all get settled in. I'll bring up something in a minute. Alright, and before we do the long rest or last minute discussions, we are going to do our intermission a little bit earlier than I intended to, but we're going to do it right now. So, let's all take a 5 or 10 minute break, and for those of you watching on the YouTube front, it's more or less going to be a snapshot between our intermissions, so see you all in 3 seconds, but the rest of us, 5-minute break. Well, howdy, partner. Are you tired of boring evenings or too much politics weighing you down and making you fucking miserable? Well, I got one absolutely 100% solution to that there problem. That is, subscribe to Asmogon for retro and fun entertainment around tabletop games and 9D and fucking D. I switched accents there. Anyway, I don't have a sponsor. Obviously, they're sponsoring here. Please consider subscribing if you guys are enjoying the episode so far, and by absolutely all means, way, shape, or form, please leave a like and a comment. Absolutely helps everything out in the algorithm, especially with how my ass rarely ever seems to upload these days. So, yep, please. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic, enjoying the show. Let's get back to it, cowpokes. Woohoo! Alright, everyone, we're back from our intermission, and also we have an additional person in the call, although he's going to be quite quiet. That would be not necessarily a co-DM, but a supporter of the campaign. One of my best buddies, Karn. He's kind of, I'll say an assistant DM. We'll put it that way, in the sense that he helps me out, like if the players are having an issue and like they need kind of like a secretary almost position, although I don't want to demean him by saying that, but essentially, like if the players at any point have an issue or anything like that, my good buddy Karn is the first step they go to. Like he'll sift through it, and if it's something important, he'll pass it along to me. He's a very, very good guy. Outside of that, he's mostly just here for support, and we love him. Also, it's his birthday, just so everybody knows, so make sure to shower him with happy birthdays and loves. Happy birthday. Today's your special day. How old are you, my good friend Little Karn?
32.
32. Yes, big 3-2.
Am I a pretty secretarian?
He's almost an adult in Hobbit years. One more year, and he'll be an adult Hobbit.
For Lord of the Rings lore.
10 more years and he has the perfect age.
With that, we're going to get back on track here. So where we left off before the intermission, all of you had just been introduced to your tavern room. It's a large-scale kind of studio room. And you've been left to your own devices for the time being from Andre.
Right. Once everyone has been set up, Vlad is basically going to set his bedroll at the corner away from the door and prep everything as if he's going to leave at any moment, like he usually does. And after we've had food and whatever other amenities we've decided, he's going to kind of stand up, look around the group. Right, so who here has hunted goblins before?
I've killed a few. That was actually one of the first lessons my teacher did when, after a few months of combat training, she basically just threw me to a pack of goblins.
Got some in the pits?
Not really a pit, but
Oh no, I meant me.
there was throwing involved. We were overlooking the goblin camp from a 10-foot cliff. She gave me a little shove. Let's just say I'd kill some goblins or fail the test.
Right, anyone else?
Turns
Well, I
to
mean- Go on.
yeah. Let's say I turn to Adagio and say, I saw you walk off with the person giving us the job. Did you get any other information about the job? Why it's such highly prized.
It is not really anything I'm aware of. Did he not give you further details? All I know is that there are lots of goblins and rumors at best. Maybe something bigger. That's really it.
Mhm.
But hey, I'm sure he'll pay us quite standardly if we go above and beyond.
Anything else about this bigger thing? Any clues about what it can do? Hint, hint. Meta-wise, you heard that it can fly.
No, like,
Indeed,
yeah.
indeed I know. Indeed I know. I mean, I've heard bits and bobs around the place. But I don't know where the rumor begins and the truth starts. And where the truth starts. So, but from what I've heard, hear a bit and this and that, it can be anything from just heavyweight, maybe it can fly, really sharp claws.
Okay, at that
Maybe
point, Vlad is going
maybe
to
it'll
bark
cough
up.
up. Maybe it will cough up the inferno itself. What do I know?
It may behoove us to scout the place out before we make any serious moves.
Right then.
Sounds sensible, yeah.
In that case, I should set some rules before the expedition. Unless anyone else want to add anything.
Well, I'm willing to hear you out at least.
I look around to see if anyone else wants to interdict.
I usually do not hunt,
Might
Right
but
be
I
the
then.
can give time a
opportunity for
push.
us to at least perhaps discuss our capabilities, so we at least know what all of us are able to, at least as much as we're willing to share in relation to the fighting we're going to have to be doing.
Well, who's first?
Did bring it up. As you
I
can
look
probably
at you.
tell, I'm a paladin of the Order of the White Maidens. You may have heard of us from time to time. We do get around. There aren't a large number of us, but we travel. I am skilled with glaive, with my glaive and polearms, as well as javelins. I can also channel divine energies, and as our good friend over here, the spellcaster, I missed your name. What was it again?
Radu.
Radu has gleaned. I am of giant lineage. Something that I can do is I can channel that lineage and I can increase my stature, strength, and general constitution for about an hour. Makes me about double the current size. Can also cast a couple of spells. As I don't know if any of you noticed the gust of wind. That is something I can do, as well as a few other things that may prove useful.
So that was you.
Look forward to seeing it in action.
Alright, who's next?
Well, if we're gonna lay things out on the table. Oh, shit. I am more just purely martially inclined. I have fought for some years now in the gladiator pits. I know a bit about finding weaknesses, knowing how to exploit an opening, and I know my way around fear.
Well, I'm Radu Fulger, and I have spent all my life devoted to Ethnos. I am quite learned. Ethnos has blessed me with the magic, so I can cast a diverse group of spells, as well as push time a little bit forward and backward to help you. And I also have a small friend that can keep a bit of lookout for me. And I would open the window to call my familiar, which is a small owl.
All right. You open the window
Place on
and
my shoulder.
the owl kind of flutters in, almost like it was waiting for its entrance call, and it flutters onto your shoulder. Would you like to describe the owl?
It's a small white owl of a winter type that hides pretty well. And since it's finally evening, he joins us and will be a bit of my eyes as I can communicate with him. He does not look very special, so that most people can't actually tell him apart from a standard owl. And I would pretty much close the window directly after that because it's probably getting cold in the night. And look at the rest of the group.
Right. So 2 fighters and a magician. What about you, hooded fellow? Gonna look at Elusive. What can you do?
I just punch, basically. A lot.
Punch.
A monk, then.
I guess.
Of what variant? I've met a few in fair time, even sparred one. Canny opponents.
I will keep that close to my chest for now.
As you wish. Though I am curious.
Right. And what about you, Dragonblood? And I'm gonna look at Baluk's form, kind of dismissively. What is your thing?
I like magic as well.
Right. In that case... Oh, I guess that's still what I do then. Well, I fight. I'm pretty straightforward. I had a spear, shield, sword. And I usually take the brunt, so... You would generally stay behind me, if nothing else is consistent. Right, so... For rules then. First thing I should mention is... We need to not underestimate goblins. I will tell you they are a quite crafty bunch. And they're tougher than what most of people think, so be on your guard. Usually, I will take front, as more experienced and highly armored. And I would suggest to spread out evenly, so basically we should have a fighter at front and back, one in the middle, and all the rest in between to cover all the bases. Keep close, do not venture too far, and do not be eager or harsh or hasty. We should be very cautious because there could be traps and other unexpected situations in the lair.
And then I
And
should
one last
probably
thing,
take the.
Hmm?
No, I was about to say that I should just say I should probably as the I should take the middle martial one. I can deal damage and also use my divine abilities to assist. And if any of our more vulnerable spellcasters get in trouble, I will endeavor to try and get you out of it.
Right. In that case, we should reset. Also, do keep in mind, since they have a pack leader, or a leader in the most cases, they would be bolder than usual, so don't assume we can take them easily. If need be, we would have to retreat, and in that case, I would suggest we go fast and we go out. We don't linger, we don't fight unusually, and if need be, we go back to finish the job. But I don't want any heroism or unnecessary risks. That's what kills people. Understand?
Dojo rolls her eyes a bit. Let's also not forget the tendency to not allow more than one goblin to a time.
Luck with that, I guess, but we shall see.
Given their,
Oh, and one last
given their
thing.
bolder, it may be prudent to try and lure them out of their den, out into the open. Rather than fight goblins on their home turf in narrow corridors.
There has benefits for both, but one last thing. If you split up, I'm not coming after you, so keep close. And with that, Vlad is going to basically turn around and go to his bedroll. Now let's get some sleep. Need it.
Yep. With that, she starts undoing her armor, setting aside, though, keeping her weapon, both her short sword and her glaive, close to her as she takes up position in one of the beds.
All right, you guys also get a knock on the door. Andre walks in, and he's got a plate full of assorted fruit for you guys, as well as some more of the jerky he had in the barrel. And he also brought some tea for you guys. Some basic amenities for all of you. And thank you again for agreeing to do this job. I wish I could offer more. Rest well. Let me know when you're heading out in the morning. And he kind of unceremoniously turns, heads out the door and closes it. Alright. So, unless anyone wants to do something before the night's end, we'll see you all get a night's rest, a long rest.
I would like to look at the note I got from the person
Alright.
when the others get a bit sleepier or turn around, so that I have a little bit of privacy, and check what he wrote me.
Alright. So you open up the fold of paper, and it's not what you expected. You were expecting a manifesto, or perhaps sorry, not a manifesto, but a manifest of items potentially being pitched to your family. But what instead is written on the paper is, don't trust House Black Oak.
I would pretty much raise my eyebrows and hide the note.
Alright.
Looking a little confused for those who would notice, but not making a huge fuss about it.
Right.
Yep, Corinne would already be snoozing on the bed. Well, first she's like sitting cross-legged, sort of like hands to the side, sort of in a sense praying, but it's more of just like a meditation type of deal.
All right, so you guys all rest through the night. Make sure to denote that you get a long rest, which I think is most important in regards to Baluk. But you all get your long rest and rejuvenate what health you may have lost, what spells you may have used, and you awake in the morning. Now, it's a very cloudy day, so it's not that much brighter than it was at nighttime. But obviously the full streets are viewable now, and you can see all the morning hustle and bustle of people that you barely took note of late in the evening the prior night because they were all retreating to their homes. But it seems a bunch of people are heading off to work. You can see a lot of lumberers, a couple of miners as well, by their garb and such as you look out the window. Seems like that is the town's main industry. The market's square, if you can call it that. It's just a couple of overhead tents and some people hawking goods. So yeah, it's a pretty humble town for the most part, but you all have awoken.
Okay. I would sit down, prepare my spells, and then cast Mage Armor on myself.
She rises. First thing she does is immediately set to quick prayer to what was the name of the white maiden again? It was
You say I got up early and probably I just left the tavern and I'm outside before anybody else woke up.
Outside the tavern or outside the town?
The tavern, just waiting for people.
She basically says her morning prayers, dons her armor, checks the edge of her weapons, that they're still keen and sharp and all that, and immediately goes downstairs, gets her horse, and goes out to the front and joins Elusive.
I would pretty much follow Karin directly and pretty much say that I need 2 more things in this town before we can leave for our destination. I should require...
I will say, as you guys do head down, Andre is not there in the pub, but there is another individual, bit of a skinnier lad, seems, but he's dressed in similar garb. You assume he's probably the daytime tender and caretaker of the bar. And the first of you that he catches in the morning, which probably wouldn't be Elusive, it would probably be Corinne. He goes, "Oh, milady, I'm assuming this is for your group." And he's going to offer you a scroll. It's kind of wrapped up, and it's had as a piece of twine, kind of tying it loosely.
She will take the scroll. She'll kind of step over to the spot where nobody's going to have an angle to see over her shoulder, to kind of probably next to where Elusive is, because he's probably sitting there in a fairly secluded spot, and opens the scroll and to read.
It's a missive from Andre, and it's got a map drawn on it to show you guys like where to go. But it's a general breakdown of the request in written form, signed off by him, and it just denotes the general location of where the den is believed to be, and the general threat level.
She will tuck that in a safe spot, and will just tucks it into her armor somewhere safe.
Okay. Alright, so the rest of you all make your trickle down throughout the initial morning, somewhat still groggy from the night before, and you all begin heading out. Corinne, are you going to retrieve your horse, or would you like to leave your horse? Because this isn't a very... The map denotes that this isn't a very far distance from the village. It is a trek into the woods, don't get me wrong. It's not, like, right outside the town. but
Mm.
it's not a long distance trip, and you are coming back because you have to get your other half of your reward. Plus, horses
True.
don't do amazing out in the woods, so it is up to you. But your horse,
Given what I
could
saw on the
stay.
map, I will leave the horse stabled at the inn.
Okay.
So I will take the shield and javelins off of the horse.
Aye.
So the shield is just on her back, just in case she needs it.
Noted. All right, Radu, did you need to do something in town before you guys headed out?
I wanted to pretty much buy a bedroll and make a quick check with the library if there's any books that speak to me.
In regards to the bedroll, there is a general store. You walk in and it's an older gentleman who is the proprietor.
Oh, hello. How can I help you?
Nothing much. I just need a bedroll to camp outside.
I see a bedroll. Does it need any specific lining?
Just something comfortable that will hold out in the cold weather.
Very well, very well. Let me look behind here.
And he very slowly moves around the edge of his desk area and has this little cane. It's kind of like puts the cane in front of him, 2 short steps, puts a cane in front of him, 2 short steps, puts a cane in front of him, 2 short steps. Takes several minutes, but he eventually brings to you a bedroll.
Sorry.
It's a standard leather bedroll with a fur inlining.
This should fit you quite well if you expect to be stuck out in the cold and the dark. Forgive me, but you don't look to be the adventurous sort, young man.
I am not, but some of my companions are.
This is just a general store, because if
Yes.
that is, Corinne might have joined in to go and maybe purchase a couple health potions just in case.
You ask after some health potions.
Oh, I'm afraid we don't have that here. I'm all out of such draughts. Bought clean from the guard, I'm afraid. Bought is a strong word. I wish I had such potions to offer, but I won't be restocked for another week.
Unfortunate.
And how much for the bedroll, good sir?
The bedroll is rather new. I would be able to sell it to you for 2 silver.
That fits fine. And I would hand over the 2 silver directly.
Thank you. Thank you. Be careful wherever you go. And be wise about what you do with your time.
And he just kind of cane forwards 2 steps, cane forward 2 steps, cane forward 2 steps. Very, very slowly gets back around. By the time he's back to his desk, you guys would have been gone twice over.
I'm gonna look at Karen. Do we need something else?
Yeah, the trip isn't too far. We'll go out, probably make a base camp, scout out the area, and then try and complete the job.
I am guessing you probably have rope and other necessary items that you need.
I've got general gear, yes. Would have also, along with the shield, grabbed just a backpack with some of the stuff in it.
Yes, of course. I will check the library quickly to see if there's anything special there. And then I should be with you. Oh, and I also can create fire, so that should not be a problem.
Okay. So, Radu, you travel through the town and you eventually come to the library. It's not very big. It's an okay sized building, but it's at best got like 7 bookshelves. It's not even multiple stories. You enter the building and there is a old crone there, very tall but very thin and lanky old woman. Can I help you?
I am just a man of Ethnos searching for knowledge, and I would like to take a quick look around if there's something I haven't seen.
A patron of Evnos, you say? I've heard that before. Quite often, in fact. But very rarely does anyone even know the basics. For example, how does Rory the Great describe Evnos in his tomes?
You mean the owl with many heads?
How many?
3, of course.
She kind of perks up, you know. Initially, she was like staring at you like a very disappointed old grandma. Now she's like, oh, okay.
I see. And what is unique about these heads? What do they look to?
One will look in the past, one will look in the future, and one is for the time right now.
Indeed. Well done. I welcome you to my bookshop. Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
She seems very
Just
warm
take
and
a
openly
quick
now.
look for anything unusual. I have a general knowledge about a lot of things, but as Ethnos teaches us, more knowledge is always better.
That is very true. Very, very true.
Alright, so you're looking for any unusual books, you said.
Yeah, I'm pretty
think it's
much just gonna
probably-
go along the back of all the books and check if there's anything I haven't seen in any library before.
Or if you
Or
see
anything
somehow
that's
there's a
rare.
magic
Yeah,
related book snuck in there.
Roll me
yeah, that would also be great.
Roll me perception, please.
Sure. Second. Down there. That's an 18.
18. Okay. So you look about the shelves, and you're, kind of following you to try and help you as best she can. The old crone walks you along, and you look up and down several shelves. You see a couple of books initially that seem to interest you, but they don't seem. They seem like they're unique versions of prior things you've read before, but not necessarily wholly original works. As you go about, you do find one book that has a vibe to it that seems off. It doesn't seem like you look at the book, but you naturally feel the desire to look away from it for some reason.
I would like to concentrate on the book for a moment and just carefully touch the back.
All right. You touch the back, and it feels kind of cold to the touch. Almost like it's being left out in ice or something. And, it's got a black leather-bound outcropping in terms of its cover and its spine. Do you take it off the shelf?
Yep.
All right. You remove it from the shelf. It comes off just fine. It's a little dusty. And the front cover is blank.
I would like to look at the old woman and pretty much go, what is this?
Oh, she adjusts her specs. Oh, interesting pick, that one. I was told it by the man who sold it to me a few years ago. It's a tome of mysterious things.
Apparently, he said
Huh.
something about the magic qualities of the book. Tried to upsell me quite a bit. I ended up buying it for 2 gold coins just to shut him up. To be honest, and she gestures to take the book from you. Not as in to rip it from your hands, but if you will, hand it to her.
Yeah, I would, but I would also like to check my memory if I've ever heard of that.
Roll me history. Actually, sorry, roll me arcana.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
That's a piss.
Fortunately, no.
That's an 8.
So she takes the book from you and she kind
Yeah.
of opens it slightly and flicks through it. And you notice that the pages are all blank. The only thing that's catches your eye is that the pages are numbered, like with a little black ink etchings on the corners, but there's no words, there's no symbols, there's nothing. It appears entirely blank, but let's say I stop it, and she flicks through and stops in like the middle of the book, roughly. And she puts her hand on the tome and says, she just kind of mumbles to herself for a second. She lifts her hand up, and now there's some writings that appear in the page. And it seems to be describing something to do with repairing spectacles, like, you know, your eyeglasses. Hey, well, essentially the book, randomly it seems, when you're particularly frustrated or unfocused due to something bothering you, and you put your hand on the book and you think about it, information in regards to what you're thinking of appears. But unfortunately, it's not always accurate.
So, it is a bit of truth and a bit of falsehood?
Yes. Hence why it's a very ponderous tome. But the oddest thing is that it almost has a will of its own. I know it sounds strange, but I can't say if you felt the same, but when I attempt to look at it, when the spine is closed up and the book is just on the shelf, it seems like my focus goes elsewhere.
Huh. Yes. It is unusual and it feels unusual.
Aye.
Uh,
I'm certain there's more to this tome than meets the eye, but I don't know. It's up to you, of course. You're the customer. If you're curious, I could certainly pitch you a number.
what would you sell me the book for?
I bought it for 2. I'd like to make some kind of profit. Let's say 3 gold.
How about 2 gold and 5 large silvers?
Roll me persuasion.
You're being extremely generous.
An 11.
What say you 2 gold and 9 silver?
Yeah, that will fit.
Very well.
And I would hand her the money and take the tome.
Right. She takes the money and happily goes behind her desk. You now have a tome of mysterious things.
Not sure if that
Hooray!
is an actual thing. I don't think it is in the compendium.
It may or may not be homebrewed.
Yeah, I will have to check how to write that in there then.
I guess you can just look up and say, just grab a regular ass book from the compendium, drop it in, and then just edit the name.
Yeah, I can also make a
Yeah.
custom. I'll add the custom item later.
Just as a stand-in, you can just add just a regular book as a placeholder.
Wasn't sure you were going to go to the
Perfect.
library this early, so.
Oh,
I have the
well,
ability
fortune
to
favors the
get a book.
prepared.
I want the book.
Let's take a look. It's in a book.
Alrighty.
Very much.
So is that it for your town fairing?
Yep. I would head towards the other to not make them look for long.
Righto. Alright, so you guys all head out of town. So, as you guys make your way down the forest path, you guys are heading a bit more north. You guys are about, you predict based on how the map kind of lays everything out. You guys are about an hour and a half to 2 hours from the den. You guys have to travel along the road straight north for about an hour. And then for another half hour or so, directly into a path, a hunting path along the woods, will lead you to where the den is believed to be.
All right. So we come out. So are we at the point where the path into the woods branches off from the main road?
Yep.
All right. So just turns to Vlad. Is Vlad? Should we go in, find a good place to make a temporary base camp, and send in some scouts?
I'd like to, look around to see if there's any traces or clues that would give me an idea of what the surrounding countryside is.
Roll me
Looks like it.
investigation with
Wait,
advantage.
Survival.
Investigation. Okay.
Well, hold on.
I will
Survival
also
is
look
a
around-
fair
look
argument. If
around.
you would prefer survival, we can do a survival at advantage.
I would prefer survival. Yes.
All right.
I would as
Survival
well.
with advantage.
I
Then.
will also take a look. All right, 2 dice.
That is 12. Ugh. Not that familiar with this place.
16.
Okay. So specifically with what you guys are looking for, you're looking for tracks, you're looking for traps. What exactly?
Any and all of the above of
Okay.
goblin activity.
So you look about, you are finding a ton of tracks. I would say even with a 12 thing, you are finding these quite readily. This is a very active area for such things. You obviously also see like tracks from bears and other fur fauna and predator items, but the goblin population is definitely active here. You find no traps, but as you are looking about, you do see on a couple of trees, it seems like it's painted in some kind of ink or dye. A symbol. It looks like a small purple clawed hand with an eyeball next to it. It's very primitive looking, but it's likely a goblin tribal symbol. So it is marking their territory. So you're definitely within the proximity of their den.
Right. Have I seen this symbol before, or?
This one you have not, I will say. This is definitely southbound versus northbound.
We lost Ludus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not feeling alright. Alright, so yeah, we are now down Baluk. What I will say is, Baluk, you guys notice, is looking a little chilled. He's not used to this temperature. And he says he's going to hang back and start putting together a campsite for you guys out there, just in case you get stuck out late in the evening. So he starts preparing a camp for you guys.
Right. Well, I'm not going to complain about that.
I'll turn to Vlad and look around. Probably for those of you who are a little bit less flashy and stealthier, probably move on up ahead to scout out the location of the den. So that'd probably be, I'd guess that'd be Vlad and Elusive of the sneakier ones.
Well, definitely elusive, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
High dex.
Well, I look at him as like, can go look up ahead, but we shouldn't stray too far. In
I'll
case
stay
we get an ambush.
I'll stay within earshot behind. And I'll keep
Elusive.
Redu close by me.
Elusive, do you scout ahead with Vlad?
I can't.
Okay. So both of you roll me stealth then, please.
Let's see. That good at stealth, so hopefully. That's a 12. Oh.
Oh, that was almost a 17.
Actually,
You're welcome. I knocked your
what?
dice. I hit your dice with my dice and
what?
gave you a low number.
Hang on 1 second. Let me check something. Where was it again? They had something I could do, maybe.
I don't know if our wizard here has anything to assist. All I got is heroism, which just buffs you against frightened and gives you 10 hit points. That's it.
No.
Um,
I could spend an invisibility, but that's a large spell to spell on something like that.
DM, is it supposed to be completely black at the moment?
It's not.
Yeah, our screen is completely black right now. By the way, I was just
Shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
probably because
the
no
green.
tokens are on the map
Hold on.
yet.
I saw something about a token that I don't have a token to read through.
do you have to drag and drop a token in?
No. How about now?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
Right.
we see the picture now.
But you know, perfect. Thank you.
Right. So I guess we bumble up ahead, not knowing the local environment. We don't do a very good job.
Well, Tang's a little bit better, but we're, like I said, we're within earshot behind me, Adagio, and Redu, the shinier people. So if you do get ambushed, we'll run in and help.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, so just a reminder, who got what for stealth rolls?
12.
12, and what did you... I don't see a roll from you, Elusive.
8.
was an
You got
8.
8.
I do. It's an 8.
Yeah, it's
I
right
think
there.
you
It's an 8.
need to scroll down.
No, yep. Thought it would roll me all the way down. Alright, it's 12 and 8, so not the best. So you guys move along. Nothing seems to notice you guys.
Okay.
As you move along the path, you take note that the trees start to thin as you guys go along. So it seems like you're coming into a clearing, though it's definitely uphill. And as you guys kind of reach the nearby forest, you notice it's not really a natural clearing. A lot of the trees have been felled here on purpose. Cut down in jagged ways. See a lot more stumps. And directly ahead of you, at the edge of the tree line, there is a cave.
Right. So
That same marking
how
from
big is the
before
cave?
is over. The entrance, well, it's about. The entrance roughly is about 4 feet tall, and like about the same wide. So it's like a little circle. A taller individual would certainly need to crawl in, or at the very least get on their knees and crouch in.
Right. Can I try perception roll to see if they're to try and ascertain if it is the only entrance and exit, or does it
Also
look like
just-
there's others?
Even back where we are, perception. Do we do a perception too, just to if there's anything watching us or sneaking up on us?
Both groups can do a perception, yes. First, let's do the group that are scouting ahead. But I will say this, it's a cave. There's no way for you to know if there's another entrance or exit.
Well, I'm trying to ascertain if there's like more tracks coming in, out, or is it like just muddied?
Yeah.
Like
That might-
kind of that, like from context clues.
Perception.
That is a 23.
23. From what you can tell, there's a lot of tracks going in and out. So if it's a very active entrance, so it may be the only one, but you have no way to for sure ascertain that.
Okay. Is there any activity in front of it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
At current, no. It's kind of dead quiet.
And just for our group, I rolled a dirty 20. Just kind of
Okay.
looking around to see if there are goblins scouting or spotting us in the woods.
There is not that you can see.
Does seem awfully quiet. Actually, are goblins night creatures, or are they like working at all times?
They usually work at all times. They, in a way, take shifts, but they're most active in terms of a threat at night, mid-evening to nighttime, sometimes really early in the morning. But bright midday, there's going to be their least active.
It's a bit too quiet for my tastes. Right. So I look at Elusive. Should we get a closer look, or?
Better vantage point, maybe.
Right. In that case, how far are we from the entrance?
From the distance you're currently at, you're about 10-15 feet.
Right.
Oh, we're pretty close.
And it's in the middle of a clearing, right? Or is it like at the edge of the clearing?
It's like a ring of. You said it was like a ring of trees going up to the hillside or cliffside where the cave is. And
Yeah,
it's an area that's like full of stumps and felled trees.
Yes. Although the felled
Are they
trees
like
are not there.
low cut stumps or stuff you could hide behind?
Most of them are low cut.
Right. In that case, I'm going to lead Elusive around until we get to the edge of the cliff, and then we're going to approach the entrance of the cave from the side. So anything coming out is not going to directly see us, and we can hug the stone wall as we're sneaking closer.
Okay. So you approach the entrance very carefully. I would ask that you make me a perception roll. Both of you.
Okay.
That was the wrong one.
Ugh.
That was a persuasion.
Oh, yeah.
You need to re-roll that.
Perception. Okay, so
That's a 13.
13 and a 9.
Dice do not love us today.
All right, so
Nope.
off the bat, even with a low perception, Elusive, you definitely get this as well. It's this really awful acrid odor that's coming from the cave entrance. It smells really bad. Like wicked bad BO mixed with like onions and a little bit of kind of that irony smell of blood. You're getting all that at once. It's really potent, so that does affect your senses a bit. I'll say even in Elusive's case, it kind of makes your eyes water, so it's hard for you to really narrow your senses.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Vlad, you are a little less affected. You're a bit more familiar with goblins, so you prepared yourself for it. But still, it's quite strong. So you try your best to like strain your ears, and you can't really make anything out, unfortunately.
That really doesn't bode well. Once we are close enough to the cave entrance, is there any sounds coming from the inside, or is it quiet?
I was factoring that in with the perception roll.
Oh, it's so nothing else. Okay.
Roll too low.
This smells horrible, and not in a more than one ways.
It's just natural.
Right. I don't like this, but you have to address this somehow. Actually, can I try and feel, is the air coming out of the cave or going in?
Roll me. Nah, this. Do you have a passive perception?
Yes, I have.
Actually, where is that on the sheet?
Should I pass with 16, I think? Minimum?
Where is that?
No biography, special traits. Is it in features? No.
I don't know where the passive
So
is.
most everyone should have a passive.
Yeah.
Don't know where it is on the sheet.
Is it that those numbers next to the skills? I think it's 16.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's 16.
All right, well, let's operate
16.
under. Yeah, let's operate this.
Oh yeah, 16. I think
16.
that might be the passive.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's 16.
Mine would be 14.
so passively, there is air kind of flowing in and out. So it seems like there's some kind of rotation, but there's definitely more air emanating out at current.
Okay. Nice. So there is. Right. Well, I'm going to then turn around and say, well, I don't think we can glean anything else from here. How big is the rock face that the cave is in?
The rock face
Yeah, 'cause
is actually quite large. It seems like the cave is definitely going to go inward though, so you're not looking at like a giant rock wall, like with like a plateau or anything. You're at the top of a hill where there's this like rocky outcropping towards the top, and then that hole that kind of bends downward into the earth or into the ground. So it's kind of it's a decline down. So the rock face itself isn't massive. It's like a giant pile of boulders effectively around the top of the hill that kind of formulate the entrance.
I see. In that case, I'm gonna turn around, and as we start leaving, I'm going to suggest we do a little bit of a sweep of the surrounding area of the hill. Yeah, the general hill that the cave is in, just to try and figure out if there's any side entrances to find. We're going to do a little bit of a sweep to try and find any other holes that goblins may come out of.
Back out into the tree line to either side.
Yeah, as we're going back, we're going to do a zigzag through the trees, try and consider if there's any other entrances or exits.
Be wary of traps.
Yeah, yes.
Roll me survival.
Okay.
Should be down at the bottom.
Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration. Can I use my inspiration to reroll this?
Yeah, because he got an inspiration from getting a long rest. I saw it on there.
You may, if you'd like to spend it on this, yes.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
You would want to bumble into
That's 16.
16.
a trap or something.
You look about, and at one point you nearly trip over some like loose leaves, but you catch yourself on the ground, almost like you catch yourself like a mid push-up, and right near the ground, right like below where your nose is a little wire, or I guess I should say a little tiny twine, and you see that it like connects up into the tree, and hanging it almost blended in with the other trees at a glance, making it look like there was like a third tree there. But hanging loosely is this large oak tree that's ready to drop. It's being held as a counterweight.
I hate goblins.
Got away by the hair of your nose.
So you do move about a bit more around the traps, and unfortunately, there seems to be no other immediate exit or entrance to this cave. If there is another entrance or exit, it's probably further away than within the immediate area.
Right. In that case, we're gonna go back to the party if there's nothing else Elusive wants to check.
So you, some elusive is good. You make your way back to the party and report your findings.
So it
One
sounds
stinky
like they're
entrance.
all-
One
like
stinky
they're
entrance
probably-
with a lot of traps.
Perhaps our best, given the size of the tunnel, perhaps it would be best if we attempt to lure some of them out, and perhaps we set some of our own traps outside.
Repurpose some of their own traps against them.
Could do. Is that something you have experience with, Vlad? You've been doing this trapping and hunting for a while.
That's one option. Another one is trying to smoke them out. You can technically try and build some sort of a bonfire and try and direct the smoke inside the cave. We'll definitely flush them if they're inside, but that depends on if there are other entrances or exits, because, well, let's just say if we're not careful, we might get surrounded by a horde of goblins, and that's not a fun place to be.
If you smoke them
And
out,
there's
the
always-
smoke should come out of other entrances too and be able to find them.
That's true.
Perhaps if we do that method, if we create a fire, me and Radu, if he has any wind-based spells or cantrips, we can guide the smoke inside. They may have to come out coughing, and they might stumble into some traps we've already set for them out amongst those logs in the clearing.
I could sharpen some sticks. Put them
I
on the
can
ground right
create
outside.
the fire, but I cannot push the wind.
I guess I can handle that with a gust.
Right, so...
Coming out blinded by the smokes, and I put little sharp sticks on the ground. They'll step on them and get hurt.
We can make some caltrops, some spikes, some tripwires. Do you have any hunting traps? Would anyone happen to have any hunting traps, like bear traps?
I dodge your shakes her
I
head.
usually...
I dodge your shakes her head. Yes. No.
I usually make whatever I need on the field. Right,
So we'll have to makeshift some traps. We'll try and lure them out into the clearing and onto a field of our choosing, and try and take them in small groups as they stagger out. Trying to avoid getting swarmed. If it looks like we're getting swarmed, we'll have to fall back. Though, given the rumors about something bigger in there, I'd be worried about whatever it is coming out as well.
It can't be
Well-
too big if it went through that tiny entrance.
Well, whatever the case is, I suggest we survey the area, prepare some traps and fallback points, and get ready, because we want to do it before they start pouring out of that hole.
Probably before it gets towards evening or nightfall. That's when they're nastiest.
I guess I'll look around for some sticks and start whittling at them.
Right.
I'll assist, also using just a general strength to lift some like larger logs. Maybe we can. I got some rope, so rig them up. Rig some tripwires up on along the tree line. So just like the goblin had set up, rig some of our own.
All right. With these traps being set up, roll me survival. See how well these traps are put together.
Right, survival.
Can I argue for advantage because I've been doing this quite a lot?
Yeah.
Right, 17 plus 4. That'd be 21.
That's an 18.
18.
Or 17. Yeah, 21.
All right. So you guys fasten together some pretty hardy traps. You got some spiked sticks towards the entrance. What other traps do you guys set up overall?
It's probably a couple pit traps hidden by the logs. Makeshift little wooden. You know what a caltrop is? Where it's like the 3-pronged thing where you throw it out and there's a spike sticking up, so they step on those. So a bunch of them scattered towards the entrance, and right at the tree line, some tripwires with logs, just like the goblin had set up to fall on top of them.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to prepare a few. I'm going to choose what seems to be the smoothest path from the cave towards the main road, and I'm going to occasionally I'm going to just dig a small hole or set up a rope in between the bushes. Basically, create a sort of a way where if you don't know it and there's nothing there, you may trip and fall if you're chasing someone. So I'm going to set it up and show everyone where the holes and ropes are. So if we need to run, we can use this path, and the goblins chasing us would have a hard time keeping up because they will trip and fall if they're not careful.
And then as soon as we get that picked up, it'll be me and whoever's making a bonfire with as much greenery and foul-smelling herbs that we can find.
I'm gonna help you with that.
Yeah, we're gonna just build a big bonfire, and then once we're ready, I'll use Gust to start, like the cantrip Gust repeatedly to start pushing the smoke into the cave. So as soon as everyone's set, and then Adagio, I guess you probably want to stand in a place where you can be seen, so they come running and barreling through some of our obvious traps.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, so basically we know where all the traps are for those, so are we ready to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna set up close to the entrance, so if too many start pouring out, I can literally stand in the entrance and try and keep them in while you deal with the rest outside.
Yeah, try to make sure they're not coming out in a large group to swamp us. We want them straggling out and disoriented. All right, so
I guess I'll stand with Vlad.
So what's that?
I said I'll stay with Vlad.
So he's along with Vlad. All right, I'm standing with Radu. We create the bonfire and we start throwing on greenery on top of the fire, and basically any sort of herbs we found that smelled, that when we like pinched them had like a strong odor.
Okay.
Particularly foul ones. I just start tossing them on, and then I start repeatedly casting Gust to blow the smoke into the cave.
I have to reroll that because I put that. So a few moments go by of nothing, and then a good rush of noise starts approaching the entrance, and you see a couple like reflective like eyes kind of come towards the entrance.
As soon as we see them, I'm just gonna tell Radu, is like, all right, retreat back to the tree line. So we go back to where Adagio is standing, directly in the path where a lot of our traps are. So they'll come out bleary-eyed, coughing from smoke, and they'll see us first.
Yeah.
All right, so the several goblins come out, and a few run outwardly towards you guys, and they look about how you'd expect. They're green, pale green skinned, big, floppy, pointy ears. jagged, sharp teeth, and very face kind of like clay or Play-Doh that's been just kind of smushed and kind of disfigured in multiple places. Just weirdly shaped and textured skin. And they're wearing
Face
makeshift
only a
scrap
mother
armor. And they come out, and the first one looks out. And like several of them start running full force outward, and then some of them step on the caltrops. And several more like barrel into those ones, and they hit some of the traps. A couple of them get caught right in the traps and get impaled in some of the makeshift holes you guys did and get killed. As soon as they start seeing this, one of them immediately stops, runs back in the cave. The rest...
Okay, I'm gonna try and intercept the one that's trying to run back in as I'm close to the cave entrance.
Okay, how so?
Skewer him on your spear.
Or, I guess, in what method do you attempt to stop him?
Well, I'm going to literally try and body slam him with my shield. Just run and bash him with my shield to try and knock him on his ass.
Okay, are you right next to the entrance?
Well, I was really close by. So basically, me and
you needed to better
Ludus-
define that for me, like where proximity. Because you guys set the way you explained it to me. You set up the caltrops like right by the entrance, and then you had several pitfalls immediately off of those, and then at the tree line you had the drop traps, similar to how the goblins had it.
Right.
For you to be close enough to prevent this goblin from re-entering the cave, you would need to be where the caltrops or the pitfall traps are.
Well, okay, so we set up the caltrops and pitfalls in the line in front of the cave entrance, right?
Hmm.
Was it possible for us to stay in the next to close the tree line next to the rock face where we started approaching the cave entrance first? So
It
they
is,
run
but
down
you at that point, at that distance though, you'd be 15 feet away. And this goblin barely exited the cave, saw the chaos, and ran back in.
You do have a crossbow
okay.
and some rope if you wanted to try a
Yeah,
lasso.
I'm gonna try. Can I try my crossbow?
You could try your crossbow, yes. Shield bashing,
Yes,
you're way
I'm
too
gonna
far
try
away.
Okay, I'm gonna try my crossbow then in that case.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Damn.
Oh, you gotta click the roll.
Yeah.
That's a good roll.
That is a 19.
That hits.
Okay, that's for damage.
Okay. Do you aim to try and make sure he falls down?
That is a 3.
Alright. You successfully hit him. But unfortunately you hit it right into his shoulder, which if anything just pushes him more back into the cave and just kind of rolls down the path. He's definitely back in there. And you know logically with where you hit and the damage of the attack, he's not dead.
Shit. Okay, in that case I'm gonna
Prepare
grab
for
my
more.
spear and start rushing towards the entrance.
Alright.
We know where the traps are, so just avoiding them. And then the ones that are outside and are stuck on caltrops, and we'll move forward and start trying to dispatch them.
Wait, hold on. Quick question, DM.
Yep.
How many came out of the cave and are?
About 4.
4 of them.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought I was gonna cry out for Vlad. Stop it, you fool! Come back!
Yeah.
If you try and trip up any that continue to come out, we're gonna just move in. We're gonna kill the 4 that did come out because that one rolled back in and might be calling for help, so we might get an onrush.
All right, so you guys approach, and through various means, in your case, you have a spear, but some of you have daggers. It's like
loppets one of their heads off.
Yeah, just whoosh, 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 whoosh. And you kill the 4 that made it out.
And then we brace
what-
ourselves.
Is that
I'm
where
gonna-
you're running in them?
What was
No,
that,
I'm not
Lenny?
running in. I'm running towards the entrance, and I'm gonna stay right at the entrance with shield raised, ready to bottleneck anyone that's trying to come out.
Oh, I thought you said
Yeah,
you were
he's-
pursuing the goblin. My bad.
He snuck along the side, just outside of where like the caltrops are. So like any that's
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
coming out, he's
suicidal.
like-
I'm not gonna charge you in the cave.
Yeah, I know. I got the first part. I thought you said that I'm going after him. I'm like, please don't. That would have been. Oof. Okay, so we're holding ground here now. Got it. Good.
And then
I mean, if we could-
a shout to like elusive. Are you covering? Where, like me, Adagio, and Radu are just up the middle after slaying the other four.
Can we just finish them off, or do we have to roll for it?
You already finished them off.
They were all
before they came out.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
already they were
Yeah.
already subdued by the traps. So he just
Yeah.
it was just a simple matter of just killing
Yeah,
them.
you didn't need to
Yeah.
roll for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So who should be at the front? I'm supposing Vlad, me, and. Gosh, what is your name again? I'm sorry.
Corinne.
Corinne, thank you. Yeah, you, me, and Vlad should be in the front, I suppose. If we're just covering the one exit.
Yeah. You and me, we're up in the middle. Vlad is kind of off on, I would guess, like the right-hand side of the cave entrance with his
No,
shield.
I'm
with the
standing
spear.
right in front of the cave entrance. You take both sides.
Okay, so
Okay.
we move in close, and we're gonna just like as they bottleneck kill some, we're gonna slowly withdraw. If numbers get too much, we'll withdraw out and let them run into any traps that haven't been triggered.
Got it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much standing behind the big people with shields,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably standing behind.
waiting
Tang,
for
so-
something to see.
Several minutes go by and nothing. Another 30 minutes on top of that. Nothing.
But while this is happening, can I take like a quick glance around to see if there's any other smoke plumes coming out from other places?
Roll me perception.
I'll do a roll as well. Might as well.
That's an
Yeesh,
18.
No.
Nope.
That's a 7. No.
In that case, I hold ground.
Alright. So, about 30 minutes goes by. Nothing.
Right. At that point, I'm going to start warning people. Okay, we should start heading back. This is not good. Pull back, and I'm gonna start slowly, like, inching backwards, ready for an ambush.
Yeah, we're gonna head back towards the tree line, I guess. So as we retreat backwards towards the tree line, weapons ready.
Wait, towards the tree line. Hold on. How wide is this cave and how deep did we go into it?
Well, no, we didn't go in it. We were sitting on either
They're
side.
sitting on the entrance.
Like,
Okay, then.
Tang was standing right in front of it. You and I were like
Yeah, no,
to the
I
immediate
got
left
it,
and
I
right of
got
it.
I got that. What I'm not getting, and please do enlighten me, why are we falling back from that position?
Because
Nothing is
something's
happening.
not right, because nothing's happening, and Vlad is being very, very concerned. He's not liking the fact that nothing's come out or that long. So that means two things: either they've given up, which is not likely, or they're preparing something, which is very bad. So we need to
Maybe
pull
they all
back,
suffocated.
get ready for something big.
I
to
would
happen.
doubt it.
Well, sure, I'm just concerned that if we back off, then, well, maybe they will surround us completely.
Well, if we're all bunched together, and if there are other secret enemies we didn't spot, they could come around, and then we're surrounded by the cave entrance.
While you
Better
guys
to withdraw
are
and
backing off, roll me perception.
All of us? Okay,
Yep, everybody.
let's go.
16.
16,
14.
14.
Only a 9.
Okay.
999.
So, okay.
17 from Adagio.
All right. So for those who rolled a perception of 16 or higher, As you guys are like debating and like discussing back and forth, you guys start to hear drums.
Okay.
Boom.
Fuck all.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
we
boom.
run.
Boom, 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 boom,
Run!
boom, boom, boom,
Okay,
They're gonna bum-
Vlad
yeah,
immediately
they're gonna-
turns and starts running down the hill. Run, you fools!
Yeah.
All right,
Gonna
so
follow.
and you guys hear the cladding of armor and lots of footsteps, coming from the cave. Just boom, 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 and you can hear the chattering and the talking and the goblin language just being like ravied forth. And the vast
call back to the
approach,
tree
you can
line.
hear a lot of them. It is like the movement sounds like almost insects, like moving very haphazardly and quickly.
Yeah.
And
Vlad is at this point just booking it down the hill. Doesn't care about anyone else.
all right, so you
Yeah,
guys,
there's not really back to the tree line.
all right, so you guys flee back to the tree line. As you guys are running, you can kind of glance behind you as you're like full sprint, full toward like back to the camp that Baluk was put together for you guys, and you see a light kind of come out of that little cave entrance, and they like as you hit the tree line, you just see kind of like a swarm of goblins just flooding out of it. 1 goblin, 2 goblins, 3 goblins, 4 goblins, 5 goblins, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. The number you lose track after like 13 or 14 just are flooding out of it. And they're pushing each other out of the way. They're excited. They're enthralled by the fight to come. And the goblins are never excited for a fight. They like ambush. They like to just take victims and beat them up. They are never excited for a fight. So if they're excited for a fight, they got you guys beat in numbers massively. So you sprint past the tree line.
4 of them get taken down by the remaining traps.
As you guys do flee, you do hear more like activating the traps, and you do hear like the sounds of them like being hurt or squashed, but it doesn't seem to slow them down. They're still moving. You guys sprint further through the tree line and further, and there's a point where you guys nearly trip. So I'm going to have Vlad and Adagio both roll me dex.
Okay. Dex
Dex
save.
save.
Or just flat dex?
Dex save.
Okay. Doesn't do me any difference, but maybe it does him difference. Oh, that was close, my dude.
Nope, someone
Why
privately
is it
rolled something?
private?
I don't know.
I got a
someone
14.
changed things.
Okay. Make sure your roll was public, because you got question
should've
marks.
You might, yeah, you switched. I think you accidentally switched settings to the role because there's a public
Oh, no.
role and then private. So you might have.
Yeah.
Must have been
click the
accidental. That must have been accidental somehow, but I can send in our chat. You can see what I got.
Okay, yeah, 14.
Hmm.
Alright, and what did you get, Vlad? 14 as well?
Yep.
Okay. So, both of you are tripped. Unfortunately.
Oh,
In the mix of your full sprint, you both...
1 second, Asmo. I would like. Who of them is running in front of the other?
I'd say
I'm at the
Adachi... Oh, Vlad. Never mind. Vlad's at the head of the pack.
I would like to use my ability Chronal Shift, which means he can reroll his save.
Okay.
Right? That means Litany's
See if
still,
that's
still trips. but-
better.
yeah.
I mean, I could also use
On.
that one for.
Shit.
That
I'm
was
not
worse.
good at that.
I'm pretty
So not
sure
only
they're
did Vlad
stumbling
trip,
over each other.
but due to your chronal shift, his trip turned into a roll onto a thick branch full of more sharper branches. So that's going to be plus
I thought I could
7
maybe
points
help, but
of damage.
shit rolls and shit rolls.
So you guys now come to a sudden stop with several of your group having tripped, and you turn around. Now you guys are scared. You're prepared for the worst. They're gonna overwhelm you, and the swarm comes up. You guys are petrified. You're terrified. All of a sudden, it feels like it's just this is the end. You can see a wave of goblins. This is an absurd amount of them, but they stop dead right by that tree with the marking from earlier.
Okay.
And they all look apprehensive. The goblins are looking at each other.
I'm gonna poke a Karen in the side and
I will
pretty much
turn
go,
and
be creepy.
I will immediately, because they're trepidatious. Right, so I'm gonna pull out this particular card. I didn't want to use it right now, but I'm going to channel the giant's blood, and I'm going to attempt a massive intimidation.
Roll that at a disadvantage.
Right. Can I argue advantage because I'm suddenly expanding to twice the size?
I might nix the disadvantage, but I won't give you
Just
advantage.
a regular intimidation roll.
Yeah,
So
they outnumber you a lot.
Yep. The markings on her eyes expand. Her eyes turn more of a white color, a streak of white in her hair, and suddenly she starts to expand in size. She is now a little over like 13 and a half feet tall, and steps forward, and I will roll my intimidation, attempt to make them flee.
Okay.
Let's see, what's my intimidation buff? 17 plus 7, so that's 28.
17 plus 28? Or is the total
No,
28?
17 plus 7, so it's 28.
Okay,
Total
20.
28.
Alright, so they do back off even more from that line. And they do begin a retreat.
Is it an orderly retreat or disorderly?
Orderly. They're not chaotically running. Several of them are actually having... they have like makeshift crossbows they're pointing at you. But they aren't firing.
Yeah,
Did we
I'm pretty
determine
sure we
what that
shouldn't
symbol
trigger
was?
them right now.
What was that?
Well, one second. What did you say, Jaber?
Did we determine what that symbol was, or has anybody looked into it?
Not yet.
I would in a second.
Okay.
Pretty much wait for them to move a bit away, and then I would like to try and.
Alright,
Yeah,
know
that
what
was
it
already
is.
on their feet trying to
do
come
you
back.
pursue them back to the cave?
Given that they're in an orderly retreat,
And a
Mhm.
really large
We-
group.
we do not, because if they're retreating, they might turn and fight in a group. So we're just gonna consider ourselves lucky and try and regroup and attempt again.
DM, quick question.
Yeah.
By our account that we were able to ascertain, how many goblins were there outside the cave?
You only counted... without rolling for it, you only counted to about 13, but there's definitely more than that.
Given a higher, standing taller and seeing like the group as they're treating, what do I need to roll to get a number count?
Perception?
Yeah, that's what I was made. Okay,
Perception?
I'll roll perception too.
Yep.
Just gonna make sure I'm.
Let's see, 19 plus 23.
23.
I got a 19.
19. The exact number you aren't able to get because they are moving, first of all, and second of all, they are trying to sprint full bore back into the hole. But give or take a few, it's around 50.
50 goblins.
A lot.
Oh boy. Right.
As soon as they're pretty much over the next hill and directly out of sight, Radu would turn around and move towards the symbol and
Okay.
see what it is.
Roll me nature. Nature check.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
Can anyone else
You have
make
no
it?
idea.
Can anyone
Not
make
a clue.
either make a roll?
Can I try as well?
Might as well.
Yeah, I don't have any major advantages in nature, but I may as well make a roll.
Can't be worse than 1.
Oh, come on.
It absolutely can. Well, no, it can be
No, it can't
significantly
be
better.
worse than 1.
It can be the
Yeah.
maximum opposite.
You rolled
Nat
20.
20. Nat 20.
Natural
Nat
20, damn.
Okay.
Your third eye opens.
Yeah, I opened my third eye. I give credit to the other dice and rolled against it and bumped into it. So clearly that other dice saved it.
Okay.
I hate it.
So the marking with that nat 20, that marking is a goblin clan hold. Another way to look at it is it's a marking that marks off two things for goblins. It's where their like home base is. It's like, hey, behind this line is home. That's what it means for the goblins on a social level. It's also the specific type of marking dictates the type of clan. Really what that means is different goblin clans sometimes specialize in different things. They all thieve, they all grape, and they all murder. They all do like the horrible shit. But there's things that each clan or tribe or sect of goblins might specialize in when they get together collectively. It's really hard to determine which is which because obviously with the way goblins live, the clan might one day have one marking and the very next week have a different one depending on who died, who the new leader is. It's near impossible to guess. There's no like if you by the time you were to document like, oh, this clan has this mark, that clan might not be a clan anymore. It might be 4 different clans. It might be dead because they killed each other. It's impossible to determine, but what has been kind of more or less summarized by hunters over the years is that the markings will usually contain a hint visually to what they specialize in. Now again, this one is a clawed hand with an eyeball. From that, you can make a couple different guesses of what that's supposed to hint at their specialization. But in terms of being certain, even with a nat 20, there's no way to tell for certain what that means.
Yeah, unless you like have knowledge of the goblin language and culture and background and whatnot. I do share what I suddenly know or remember hearing from, like it was a lecture from her teacher who'd been training her before she came to this place. So she just shares all that information.
Yeah.
Makes a massive sigh, looks down at the party. So, what now?
Now, and Vlad kind of brushes off the branches and everything else that he has. Now we go talk to the one that gave us this job. This is definitely not what I signed for.
What does that even mean? We signed up to kill goblins. There are the goblins.
You know, look at the gladiators like, well, if you want to suicide, if you want to go die, I guess, be my guest, but I still want to live, so... Unless we get more information about what we're dealing with, I'm not going back there.
Perhaps we make another search further abroad for another entrance to the cave. If there is one, it'd be further out.
My concern... Like... I don't even get it. What were you even expecting? That they were going to be served on a silver platter for us?
I don't know what you've been fighting, dear lass, but usually goblins do not charge into combat with such glee and
Unless
laughter.
they...
If it's live or die, yes they will.
If they have a
Also,
leader,
I will say, like, the reason they were gleeful is they outnumbered you 10 to
Yes,
1.
exactly.
it's
So,
both if like they have a leader and if they think they have total advantage. So perhaps if we had a way to make them think that they don't have an advantage.
Or we can try and put some traps out in the area and slowly whittle down their numbers, maybe.
Eventually they'll go.
They'd get
eventually they'll
wise
go
to that after the first 2 or 3 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
and
maybe we
they
can
won't have made much of
also
a point.
surprise smaller groups, or do they always travel around in full?
Eventually
groups.
they're not gonna fall for the small groups go scout anymore. Goblins are stupid, but they learn still. They have survival instincts to like no one's business.
real quick, Vlad, can you roll me a survival roll with advantage?
Absolutely. God, what?
Never mind.
Oh well.
What is this?
Continue.
Let's proceed.
I am not having the time of my life. I'm thinking about going back to the tavern today
You think about
and
what?
thinking about how to do it next day.
Well, that would be another several hours back. We can we should have a camp established nearby.
Oh, I'm not
can
staying
rest
here
and-
for the night. No.
Yeah, we definitely need to get some distance.
Need to find some shelter away a little bit. There's the town. Was there anything else along the way that would be between the town and here that would serve as more significant shelter for the night?
There's an old log cabin that you guys passed.
How far away was that?
About 30 minutes from where you guys are currently.
I mean, that's not too
How
far
far
away.
from the city?
2 hours.
Yeah, because we're 2 hours out from in total.
Yeah. Well,
DM, question.
Yes.
The goblins we saw rushing out.
Hmm.
Did they seem well equipped, or were they like just as poorly equipped as goblins generally tend to be?
Fairly poorly equipped. Nothing they had was new or well kept. They were wearing armor, but it was scrap armor, like random pieces of metal thrown together.
Yeah.
Nothing implying an advanced use of tools.
No. Indeed.
And I say we take shelter in the cabin. No fires. I'm roving at
Oh.
night.
how long before sundown?
You guys are
Moment.
about an hour and a half to 2 hours, about an hour and a half before sundown.
It's nearly sundown.
Well,
Let's
in
regroup
that
and
case,
re-strategize.
Vlad is going to look around at the party and say, like, well, if you want to sleep in the cabin, be my guest. Me personally, I'm gonna go crash at the tavern, and I'm going to literally just go back to the city for the night. I'm not taking any chances.
I mean, it's still
Wait, what?
the middle of the day, right?
Not in the
No,
middle.
it's
You're in the
close,
afternoon.
it's like-
sundown.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an hour away from sundown, and it's about a two and a half hour walk back to town.
Yep.
I don't
And
want
we
to
know
walk
as
in the
at least
dark.
those
Yeah, we ain't
Do
going
not-
back
you-
all that way in the dark.
you
Yeah,
do not be out at night.
You're gonna be out in the middle of the night for a whole half hour before hitting town.
Can I
And
run and
knowing
get
what
there before sundown?
You can make a couple of rolls to see if you can do that, but it's a
Yeah,
chance.
I'll try.
Can we try to stop him and have a conversation real quick at least?
Yes, you can.
You're not going to dissuade me, but okay, try.
Well, at first,
At the very
it
least, we
definitely isn't
can
wise.
potentially go back. If we do go back to town, we could look for supplies because I did have an idea of attempting because how we set up traps last time. The next time, because we can pretend like we were a scouting party. If we return and set up a number of bonfires and give the impression that it's a larger force.
Then they're still gonna come out in force, or they're just gonna huddle inside.
In some ways where we can try and divide them up so they're not in one group. But yeah,
Huh.
we can... Returning to town is fine. We can go and get some... But we're gonna see... First, we're gonna just see if, like, Vlad can make the mental calculations of whether or not we can book it back to town before it's night.
I'm actually gonna.
Well, if I make you roll for it, that's me. You guys are attempting it, or
Attempting
if you
Okay.
attempt it, that comes with the risks.
I personally would rather not attempt running around in the
Honestly,
darkness, because that very much can lead us into a trap or just getting caught by something.
Without influencing your decision too much, but I will remind you guys what I have said about this setting, especially in Valakia. At nighttime, you do not want to be out in the open.
No, monsters galore. We heard it in the start of the session.
It is
I think
quite horrible
the
at nighttime.
cabin may be our best bet because we're too far out.
No,
It's a risk I don't want to take.
We're going to the log cabin, and then we'll try again tomorrow to our best capacity.
You still have to convince me.
You're free to try and go back to town if you wish.
Feel free to go back on your own and get killed, potentially. No skin on my nose. But I
It's
hope
gonna
you
be
know-
dangerous
I hope
as heck. You're gonna be alone in the dark. You do not see in the dark, and you will very much likely get eaten, killed, or just stumble and kill yourself.
Indeed, I would have thought the monster hunter would know of monsters in the night.
Yeah,
Unless
I'm
you can
already
fly,
running
you
at
will
this
be
point.
in the
I'm
middle of
not
the dark.
listening to anyone.
Okay.
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 Alright, we
Tang-
go and set up.
Yeah, you guys successfully make it to the cabin and start a fire in the grate and are encamped. Tang, make me 3 d20 rolls.
Oh boy.
Okay. Can I use my action search to give myself any sort of
Nope.
advantage on that, or
Nope.
okay? Oop. I-
That's a good one.
I
That's a
should-
good one.
Let me roll.
2 more.
There we go. 2 more.
Okay, pretty decent. Pretty decent.
17. Oh wait. 17, 17, and 5. Sorry.
17, 17, 5. All right.
39. 39, I think.
One second.
No. That's 3.
Okay.
That's 3 rolls already.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Tang, you're about
Yes.
10, 12 minutes from town. You can see the smoke
Uh-huh.
plumes from the chimneys. But it's pitch black.
I have a torch.
You hear all around you a lot of movement.
Okay.
Out from the bushes from all sides, cutting you off in the road from both behind and exit and the sides, is 12 goblins. They have nets and blow darts.
Okay. Let's see.
They do get a sneak attack on you with the blow darts.
Hang on. One second.
Okay.
Just check. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, the blow darts. Does a 18 and a 15 hit?
Nope.
Neither?
Nope.
Okay, good for you. Alright. Now for the net. Okay. For the net, I need you to roll me a dex save. To avoid getting caught up in it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, nope. They surprise me.
Nope. They get you in the net, and they drag you prone, and they get advantage
Anything I
on
can do?
hitting you. Alright. So that's
Holy
two nat
smokes, man.
20s in there. Plus a 14 to 15, which even an advantage. Alright, so they're going to club you and knock you out.
Oh.
Okay.
That much damage, eh?
Collectively, yeah. Two nat 20s plus the crits. And I could do the damage calculation if you'd like.
I'm down.
Yeah. So, yep. I will say you're not down, because their intent was to knock you unconscious.
I'm
Yeah, you're not dead. So you don't have to do a death save.
There we go.
So they're going to drag you back to the cave.
Do they drag them along the road, or
They drag him along the road for a little while, but they'd get off the road
do they
pretty
pass
quick.
by the cabin?
Yes, so I'm going to let anyone in the party who would
Perception.
like roll perception to see if you see him getting dragged back.
And also, Dragonis, you have your owl guy watching probably at night, I would imagine.
Yep. I'm also having to have the owl roll. 1 second.
12 plus perception. And I imagine the owl probably advantage because it's night creature, good at eyesight.
No, wait, check. Let me check what the owl can do. 1 second.
Yeah.
Was it again?
Yes.
I rolled a 14 on my perception, but I'm going to burn a second wind to add a D10 to that.
Okay.
Let's see. Come on, baby. So I got a 17 total.
All right. And do you have dark vision, perchance?
Let me double check.
That changes the DV a bit.
Yeah, I do.
I know elusive does. Because I think shifters get night
Also
vision.
do have dark vision, and the
They
owl
do.
also has 120 foot. The owl has enhanced dark vision, and gets a
That
plus.
matters.
So at that point, the
Seven?
owl would probably just see them.
The owl has a 19 with 120 foot of dark vision.
The passive perception and all that.
Where do I find that? 1 second. Go to D&D Beyond just to make sure. Because I still need to learn the forge where everything's placed.
So you said the owl has like a passive 19 and dark vision?
No, it doesn't have the passive. I rolled.
Oh,
for
I thought you
the
said 19. Oh,
plus.
you rolled. There was like a 19 I heard in there somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah,
I do not have
and
it. I do not have any dark vision. So 17 without dark vision.
Okay. Does not meet the DV.
Elusive does, don't you? I think you have a dark facial trait. It should be under your.
I have dark.
Does
yeah,
the
it should be
owl?
featured.
It's under. I have 60.
With the owl roll.
It's 19 with 120 foot of dark vision, so the owl sees very, very far in the dark.
The owl would
and
see
it
this.
can telepathically communicate with me.
So the owl would catch the goblins dragging him back. With a 19 plus the dark vision.
Okay. Then I would tell the others that I saw someone get dragged off in the dark by
Well, they're dragging, so they're in the
Goblins.
road.
and it's around 12 goblins that are dragging a form.
12. That's more manageable.
And 12 less if
Corinne-
we kill them.
12 less if we kill them. So we will basically set upon them in our own ambush.
Gonna
So
try and
you guys head out to stave them off, but they are moving quite quickly. With 12 of them dragging him, and they're not too concerned with maintaining him off the ground too much. So they're dragging him quite speedily along. You guys quickly take chase. Unfortunately, you don't catch up to them before they get to the cave. And they bring him inside.
Can I throw a javelin or two at them as they?
You can.
I will throw a javelin at the one that's doing the dragging as well.
Well, it's not
Before
just
they get
one.
hit.
There are several of them dragging him.
I
Well, it's
would
like-
like.
That's
to
why they're moving so
cast-
fast.
I
That's
would
fine.
We'll just-
like to cast asleep
All right.
Oh.
I'll just use
on the
weapon
group
attack.
that's carrying him.
They're not carrying him. They're dragging him.
Yeah, either way, it's a 5-foot
Aiming
radius
just
that I
to-
can center. So I would like to center it pretty much so that the goblins who are actually holding him would get hit by the sleep spell.
All right. What's the range?
Let me check 1 second. It has a 60
6
foot
to
radius,
hit.
60 foot range, and a 5-foot sphere.
So 10 feet diameter.
19 plus.
Yeah.
Well, so you
So it's a
successfully
20
knock out 3 of them.
All right. Does a 25 hit one of the goblins that's doing the dragging as well with the javelin?
It does. How much damage do you do?
All right. Let me just roll the damage.
Does 14 hit?
Yeah, 14 does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh shit. Okay. Sad.
All right. That is 8 damage. I'm just aiming to try and make the whichever one I hit drop the net.
So the one you hit does drop and is down. It's not dead, but it is down. Another one immediately grabs it and continues moving.
Uh,
All right. Are we close enough
I
that I
will-
could dash and attempt to just start slashing before they get in?
You are close enough to do that right before the entrance.
I would
I'm just
also
going
like
to run in
do
as
another
quickly as
spell
possible.
attack then.
One
Move
at a
in as
time,
quickly as possible, and I'm just going
Yeah.
to. Let's see. I don't know if there's a. That's probably out of move. I'm just going to sweep at any of the arms and limbs that are like whichever one's closest holding the net, and then try and kick another one into the others. So I will roll for that's a +6 to the roll. All right, glaive attack. 14 plus 6. That's a dirty 20.
Hits.
Damage.
Oh, nice.
That is max damage. So that's 14. And I'll stack on a smite. Where's my divine smite spells?
That is a kill on that one.
Oh, is he already dead?
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't have a
So I
lot
don't
of
need to do the
HP.
divine smite. Yeah, so I cleaved one of them off, and then I immediately. Let's see. Do I have free to try and kick one off, or try and grab the net with Tang in it and try and yank it away from him?
I'm going to say with that one dead and the others asleep, plus the one you javelined, the remaining 4 will try and flee into the cave.
All right, I will quickly throw Tang over my shoulder. Do I need to make any checks
Strength.
for that?
Yep.
Strength. Right. Where's my feature? So just straight strength or strength save.
Straight strength.
Okay. It doesn't make any difference either way. That is that's 11 plus 15.
15 is enough to pick him up.
It's enough to pick him up.
Yep.
Right. I will because we are out at night. I'm just going to.
We're
move
gonna
as quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to end the session there
Okay.
because with you guys traveling at night, there's more than goblins out there.
Oh yeah.
So, with what you could potentially get caught out by,
Mm.
I'd rather we cut off the session here
Okay.
before that, because decent chance you're gonna get caught up in an actual proper fight. In this case, there was no need to roll for initiative because the goblins were prioritizing dragging Tang's ass into the cave.
Yeah.
But with
We
what's
might not be
next,
lucky next time.
you're not gonna. Well, there's a decent chance you guys are gonna have a proper fight, and I would rather we not start that at the tail end. I'd rather we start that if it happens.
Beginning.
at the beginning
Yeah.
of the
Because
session.
right now it's trying to get. We're gonna attempt as a party, moving as close together as possible, to get to camp, if we can.
Mhm. So we will end the session there with you guys now in the middle of the dark night in Valakia with an unconscious companion traversing back in the dark. Good session, everybody. Very good session.
Have fun. Very good.
That was good. Yeah, that was fun.
Good work,
Awesome.
people.
Is the dragonborn with them, or
I'm gonna say he stayed at the cabin.
Yeah.
okay, I
It-
stayed at the cabin too.
You didn't follow?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, okay.
Neat.
I guess.
Oh, we might need you in the fight, but either way, well, I guess like if we do get in a fight, we'll make there'll be a bit of a ruckus and give an opportunity for if Ludus is feeling better for that one, and you
We'll
to have like a turn to get to us and get in the fight.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
But for now, thank you all so much for watching out there. Hope you guys enjoyed our first session of the Shadows of Valakia campaign. We certainly had a good time. A couple of speed bumps, but some growing pains whenever you started a new campaign. So anyway, we also have some, as I said towards the beginning, at least I'm pretty sure I said it, we're missing a couple people, so we have a few more players to introduce back into things, and hopefully our sick player, Ludus, is good to go again next time without the hiccup of having to bow out early. And again, happy birthday to Karn. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you want us to keep doing these. Leave a comment for whatever reason. It always helps the algorithm. And we'll see you guys next time. We're going to be doing these every 2 weeks. And it's going to take me about a couple days to put together each episode after we record them. So anyway, have a good one, folks. See you later. Bye-bye.